What's going on, YouTube? We are live, and I have not been live in a long time, mostly because I don't have a lot of data. Sorry, I just wanted to grab my cafe. Let me go ahead and duplicate a tab here real quick. Oh, I gotta get my notes too. Had this totally off topic. Had this kind of a strange call from a leasing company in New York that totally random. They wanted to hire me for a property management position, but they didn't have a property yet for me to manage. She said, well, we're working with our headquarters to secure a property. I'm like, okay. It's very weird. It wasn't a protected phone number, so I can't. In fact, I don't know if I Googled this phone number, but I found it very, very strange. All right, let's go look at my live feed. We'll watch myself watching myself. It's like Inception, right? Holy crap, we got 3 people watching already? Oh my gosh. I'm not even ready for that. Holy crap, we got 3 people. What's going on, JD Grayman? How is life? All right, JD Grayman. 29 videos. We're gonna. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're in LA. Yeah. Yeah, you do. I like your videos, JD. You're super super. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, I was thinking like traditional, but maybe that's not the right word. Like very classic, maybe like classic prepper videos, like reviewing this gear, bug out stuff, Altoid tin. Ooh, paracord knot tying practice jig. Interesting. But I noticed, JD, you've kind of been like, you must be busy. I'm sure you work full time because I'm seeing like in the last 3 months you've made 3 videos. One a week ago, another one a week ago, and then one 3 months ago. 72-hour Walmart ration bar. I don't even know what a Walmart ration bar is. Oh, editing? Yeah. You know, I had a conversation with a client of mine today, handyman client. And she was talking about, oh, you know, why don't you edit your videos? And I'm thinking, you must not edit videos a lot because it's a pain in the ass. I told her, I was like, look, it's going to take me 20 or 30 minutes to edit the video. My computer's so old that by the time you start putting in all these audio tracks and graphics and all this stuff, a lot of people don't realize, but every time you do like edit something on a video, when you're trying to preview it, that's a lot of work for your computer to do. Maybe you have a like super powerful brand new computer, but unless you have like $1,000 gaming computer, trying to edit videos with audio, visual tracks, annotations, effects, all that stuff. San Diego, what? Okay, if you haven't been to Green Flash, go to Green Flash. Oh, one of my favorite breweries down there. Delicious beers. So, you know, I don't drink that much, but my buddy and I used to go to Green Flash all the time. Type it so you don't forget, but yeah, really cool. They have food trucks all the time, you know, cute girls and beautiful people. Not to project my heterosexualism onto anyone, but yeah, good times. Dog friendly. So I'm confused, JD. I don't know why I thought you lived in Los Angeles. Did you used to live in Los Angeles? Maybe I'm confusing you with another YouTuber that was in Los Angeles. I don't know why I thought you were in LA for some reason. Did you know your page has 55, or your channel has 55,000 views? That's pretty cool, Grandma. That's pretty intense. So you commute down there Monday. That's fascinating. So if you don't mind me asking, do you have like an apartment, or are you boondocking it, or you have like two places, a place in San Diego and a place in LA? Are you paying rent on two places? I don't mean to pry, I'm just kind of curious. That's really interesting. Very, very interesting. Like, I would totally sleep in my car. If I got, I mean, I would probably end up moving to where I was, but if for some reason, like, I owned a house and then I got a great job 2 hours away, I wouldn't really have a problem with doing that. Who else is watching? Okay, everyone who's watching, just type something real quick so I know who's watching, so I can, like, interact with you on a slightly more personal level. If you want to be stealth, that's cool. I don't think I can even tell. Breaking OPSEC. Yeah, I remember I did a video like months ago about why bugging out would suck for me because I'm in LA, and if people had to bug out, like everyone would leave and I'd be, excuse me, like part of the max exodus. What's up, Garden? And someone was like, oh, you know, talks about OPSEC and then draws a circle around LA. Like, there's 8 million people in LA. Come find me, you know. Not really worried about it. Do you have Instagram? Oh. What are you, like 13? Yes, I have Instagram, but I don't really do shit on it, although I guess I should. I don't even know if I can remember my Instagram. Oh, Christ. I don't even know what email it is, what login it is. I have no idea. Let's find out. I should really be pushing on Instagram, though, because it is kind of the hot thing right now. You know, I'm so old, I remember when MySpace was hot. That's how fucking old I am. Oh, what's your MySpace? Do you have MySpace? What's MySpace? Blah, 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 blah. And then it was Facebook. And then nobody cared about MySpace. And now it's Instagram. And people still kind of care about Facebook, but... And I do have a Facebook, but I'm not ready to mix those two worlds right now. Okay. Since I can't find it that way, let's go to my email. My favorite way to figure out, I have like, you know, multiple emails. I have my personal email, my prepping email. Best way to figure out what you signed up with. Search your email. Oh, see, I don't have anything in this email. Now I gotta go open another window so I can open up 2 Gmails at the same time. Complicated, right? In fact, I'm expecting an email. I really should check my LA prepping email. Okay. In fact, if anyone ever wants to contact me for anything, laprepping@gmail.com. Welcome to Instagram. Okay, we're getting closer. You know, look, this is so retarded. Like, my Instagram, I put in... Oh, I shouldn't have... Actually, I shouldn't have shown that. Oh, well. Delete that from your brain. It's alright. I'm not too worried about people knowing my full name per se, but 5 people in the world know my secret identity now. What are you doing? Stop. Okay, so I do have an Instagram with this account. How weird. I hate... See, Instagram online is really garbage because... Oh, this is driving me crazy. Now, how do I sign out? Fucker. I don't believe this. I can't even sign out right now. I'm like too retarded to sign out. Come on. What the... I have no idea how to sign out of Instagram right now. That's unbelievable. Wow. Well, I failed completely. Let's... No, I'm not going to be dicking around with my computer the entire live stream. I kind of want to talk about some prepping stuff. What's up, Christy? Oh, Christy, I know you haven't forgotten. I'm not worried about it. Well, Garden Love, you got to get on Instagram. It doesn't matter how old you are. Nobody's too old for the internet. In fact, I made a joke with a client's father today about learning. I said, it's never too late to learn. And he said, what do you mean never too late? And I was like, no comment. Yeah, no such thing as signing out. No kidding. You know? It cracks me up when people talk about like Big Brother and the government tracking you and all this stuff. If you have a credit card, if you don't have a fake identity, if you have a cell phone, if you have a computer, if you have the internet, if you have any kind of account, the government knows where you are, what you're doing, what you're spending. You know, get over it. I mean, do I love it? No, I don't really love it. But, you know, if anyone wanted to know what I was up to, it would be a lot of school and a lot of making prepping videos. So I'm not super worried. All right, let's try Instagram again. I want to find out what my Instagram is so I can tell you I don't know what my like Instagram name is because I'm that advanced. I wonder if that would work like picking up a girl at a bar like, hey baby, what's your Instagram? Worst pickup line ever. At least I know what my password is because I've used the same password for like, well, at least 4 years because my password ends in 14 and I know I made it end in 14 because it was the year 2014. On Instagram, Christy? Yep, you should. All your friends are on Instagram. You're missing out. You know, when you go out to the clubs and the bars and you have friends and barbecues, don't worry about having fun. Don't worry about enjoying life. Just take a bunch of pictures, post it online, and spend the rest of your life telling everyone to go to your Instagram account. Change them and vary them. Theoretically, yes, you're right, Garden Love. I should have, you know, different passwords, but this is the way I always see it. Like, if you want to log into my bank account and, like, be as rich as I am, go for it. If you want, you know, if you, like, you want to steal my identity and do my homework, sounds like a plan to me, you know? So, I'm not worried. And plus, the thing is, like, everything that you do online, it's all tracked and it's all recorded. So if I have, like, some crazy... Basically, anything that's done online is going to be tracked. So if something happens that I'm not doing, there's going to be a history of it. I'm going to say, oh, I never went there. I never did that. I never spent that. It's kind of pretty easy to, like, check on what's going on. So I'm not, you know, I'm not super worried about... Like, if anything ever happened, someone tried to, like, borrow my identity and start harassing other people, it's relatively easy to find me on Google based on an email or a name or whatever. So people would probably contact me and say, hey, somebody tried to do something from your account. And I'd be like, oh, that wasn't me. Sorry. So God, why is this web... I'm like stuck signing in here. I don't know what is going on. The Instagram website is garbage. See, talk about Big Brother. Experience the best. What does it say? Experience the best version of Instagram by getting the app. How about go to hell? Reality survival. Reality survival is making a chicken run. Wow, look how gorgeous this picture is. That is a friggin' beautiful picture. God. You know, some people see pictures of nice cars and beautiful women and stuff like that and, you know, want that. And yeah, you know, I want that too, but I want land. In fact, the same guy that I made the joke to tonight about never too late to learn anything, I was talking to him about wanting to own a house. And he said, you should get a house in the country. And I was like, I thought it was really interesting that he said that, you know, like here he is owned, and he lived in a really nice, Pasadena, very, very nice part of Los Angeles. One of the nicer parts, in my opinion. I even think Pasadena is nicer than like Bel Air, for example, because Bel Air, you're kind of in the middle of like a shitstorm with all the ghetto, you know, ghetto downtown around you. So if you ever drive around Pasadena, man, just big $1 million homes. You want to know how to tell how nice a neighborhood is? Look how far it is from the street to the front door. That'll tell you how nice the neighborhood is. If you have 10 feet from the street to the front door, not that nice of a neighborhood. If you have 50 to 100 feet or more from the street to your front door, it's a nice neighborhood. Pasadena is gorgeous. Makes me drive around neighborhoods like that and I just feel sad. Not because I necessarily want to live in that kind of neighborhood, but it's just so nice. Everyone's lawn is so nice. Of course, there's not many vegetable gardens in the front yard. That's, you know, what I would do, but I gotta have some topics for this video. If you guys are interested in talking about anything in particular, or if you have questions about prepping, you know, I thought about bringing my bug out bag up from my car, but that's kind of where it lives, and everything is so jammed in there, it's kind of a pain in the butt for me to take it out and put it back, to be honest. Whoa. Yeah, so JD Grayman, that is called skip tracing. Skip tracing, the art of finding someone based on doing research. I only know that because I used to work for attorneys. Hooples! What's up, Hooples? My favorite Canadian. And I only say that because I don't know any other Canadian that follows me. I probably have a couple. I'm sure I do, but yeah, GL. What do you mean GL, Hooples? I think I know what that means, but cracking me up. Yeah, I know, show my address on a video. Well, I might not be at this address for that much longer. I got 4 or 5 more weeks to go till I graduate, and so I'm graduating in May. I haven't decided yet. In fact, let me know what you think, YouTube. This is kind of like sketchy. I know what the safe solution is, but should I give my 30-day notice before I graduate? If I give my 30-day notice, because I'm month to month right now. Am I month to month? Yeah, they actually tried to get me to sign a new 12-month lease, but they tried to raise my rent, and I told them, my place is still a shithole, and no, I'm not paying more rent. So I'm on month to month right now, but do you think I should give my 30-day notice before I graduate? That would mean that come April, May, June 1st, I need to have all my stuff in my car and hit the road. In fact, I've really been thinking, about like, what do I want to do when I graduate? Obviously, I'm looking for jobs really aggressively. So the boring plan, let's think about our plans here. So we have the boring plan, which is just stay in the apartment and look for jobs. That's kind of boring. Obviously, I'm going to be looking for a job no matter what I do. But the exciting plan is, and I have so much crap that most of the crap I'm not attached to. Basically, everything that has any personal value to me, like, you know, laptops, firearms, you know, clothes, prepping gear. I can fit all that in my car. The only problem is I can't sleep in my car while I have all my preps in my car. I could probably do something like sleep on the roof, get some kind of that set up. Maybe if I had a roof carrier and a tow hitch with a cargo carrier and the tow hitch, I could sleep in the car. I also thought about driving to my parents' house, basically dumping a bunch of stuff there and then being a nomad, finding a place to live and then coming back and getting it and then, but I don't know if I want to do that. Why not, Hooples? Why do I need to be tied to an apartment? I'm young. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. There's nothing tying me down. Granted, looking for a job when you don't have a permanent address is a little bit sketchy, but, Idaho, hands-on channel. I have been thinking about Idaho. In fact, let me show you a spreadsheet, being the good engineer that I am. I'm working on a spreadsheet, and of course, it has to do with a lot with firearms. I'm looking for a state that has constitutional carry or shall issue concealed carry. Not because it's the most important thing in the world to me, but this is the way I look at it. I've spent my entire life filling my head with information, knowledge, skills, and wisdom, and currently, knock on wood, I got 10 fingers, 10 toes, everything works. I'm a perfectly functional, well, mostly functional human being, right? I'm a little bit Looney Tunes sometimes, but basically perfectly functional. And to risk all of that by getting accosted, some random person on the street, getting carjacked, I just look at it like risk mitigation. If you could call the police and they, if I had like a Bluetooth in my head and I could call the police with my brain and a minute later they would be there, maybe I would never worry about wanting to carry, right? But that's not really how it is. By the time you're getting stabbed, the police are on their way, you're still getting stabbed. So I've never really had that much of a personal issue with safety in public. I also don't really go to cutty neighborhoods. I don't pick fights with people. Maybe being 6'3" means people don't pick on me that much, but I am kind of skinny, so anyone who's really wants to cause trouble could still cause trouble with me if they wanted to. But this is my current... in fact, maybe I'll go to, let's go to spreadsheet view here. So this is the current spreadsheet that I have for thinking about states that I want to move to. Of course, we have it auto-filtered. If you've never used an auto-filter before, I highly recommend you learn what auto-filter is because it's super cool. So I can just go, boom, go A to Z, open carry, and it's actually a lot more complicated than you would think because there's open carry of handguns, open carry of long guns, concealed carry of short guns or handguns. Then there's the concealed carry weapons permit, which is kind of this, and then of course we have permitless carry, which is you don't need a permit to open carry, like Alaska, Arizona, and Kansas. And I have to admit, I was looking for some jobs in Alaska, and I was kind of dismayed to find that after I filtered mechanical engineer entry-level full-time, yeah, where's Missouri? Missouri. So let's go back to here. Maybe I'll give all these guys a green. Now it's really interesting. I've been looking at a few different videos kind of ranking the states, so to speak, because of course there's the permitless carry, which is a big one for me. But then there's other things like stand your ground law. I think Florida has what's called a make my day law, which I think is a hilarious name for it. Which I'm guessing means something like you can like defend yourself on the street. The castle laws have to do with if someone is coming onto your property, you have the right to defend yourself. Oh, okay. Make my day. You know, I need to have like another column for stand your ground and, you know, castle laws. Because, and you might, for anyone watching this who doesn't really understand what the deal with like the stand your ground is, in states that don't have this, let's say, in fact, I know at least one of my subscribers, yeah, oh, okay, so it has to do with like whether or not you're on your own property, yeah. You know, in a state like California, if someone came at me with a knife, let's say they didn't stab me, but they were just coming towards me with a knife, and I shot them and killed them, I would have a really bad day in court. Would I be able to beat it? Maybe. But the problem is, if your state doesn't have a stand your ground, even if you tell the judge, I was in fear for my life and I thought that I would have to defend myself, the judge might say, see you later, hands on, thanks for coming by. You know, it could still be an issue. You could still potentially get charged with involuntary manslaughter or maybe even voluntary manslaughter. So, you know, it's not like I have, you know, I'm hell-bent on, you know, shooting everyone who tries to get into a fight with me or anything like that. But God forbid I ever did have to defend myself with a firearm. I don't want to have to worry about getting a prison sentence and potentially losing my right to own firearms because I was defending myself or my family or because my wife would just... Imagine my wife was pregnant, walking down the street, somebody tried to attack her, she shot and killed him, and then she got charged with manslaughter because we weren't in a stand your ground state. And now my pregnant wife is in prison because she was trying to defend her our unborn child. So yeah, that's kind of an extreme example, but you have to kind of look at the worst case scenario when you're looking at this stuff. So I watched one video and we had these rankings, guns and ammo. Guns and Ammo had this ranking, and Guns and Ammo put a lot more points into everyone doesn't have a gun in America, hooples. In fact, I would say the majority of people don't own firearms in America. Even though we have a very large number of firearms, I think it's somewhat concentrated. Now, granted, California certainly is not... Yeah, they do online. No kidding. Thing is, people that don't own guns usually don't make videos about not owning guns, but people that do own guns are often kind of a little more vocal about, like, you know, sharing their love of firearms with the community. Kind of like if you have a motorcycle, you might make videos about having a motorcycle, but if you don't have a motorcycle, you're not going to make videos about not owning a motorcycle. So people that don't have, you know, don't have things aren't always as vocal as people that do have things. But so anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share that little spreadsheet with you. So back to my my job plan. So I could potentially, I could just jump in my car, get rid of all the stuff that I don't want, put everything else in storage, or drive up to my folks' house up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I could just start touring open carry states. I could just go... Now, Vermont, you know, places like Vermont and Maine and New Hampshire, like, they're kind of super far away. I don't exactly have anything against the East Coast per se, other than just it's really freaking far away. And you know, I don't... What do I have against the East Coast? I don't know. Is it the snow? Is it the fact that it's really far away? Is it the fact that I don't know anything about it? I really... Like, if you asked me to say 10 things that are meaningful about the East Coast, I'd be like, it snows, New York's over there, the Appalachians are, like, I don't know what kind of... I don't know what's really important or what... Like, if I had to describe the West Coast, I could, you know, go into a lot more detail. But if I had to describe the East Coast and, you know, what some awesome things about... Of course, I'm sure there's a lot of awesome things about the East Coast, but I just... I don't know. I feel like... I think the main reason I'm not super intent on going out there is because there's only a few states that are kind of good. And I'm talking like the Northeast. You know, granted, I could go hit up Mississippi and Missouri, and maybe Arkansas and West Virginia. Like they're kind of in the same area, but the Midwest and the West are a little bit better located as far as states that have constitutional carry. And like I said, gun laws in a state, it's not just about the constitutional carry, but also about, you know, restrictions on ammo, on magazines. For example, in New York, let's say I'm hunting. I know not everyone agrees with hunting, but let's say I was hunting in New York. I don't think you can have different types, something like different types of ammo with you or different types of shell. Like if you're going bird hunting, you can't have a shell for deer. And if you're going deer hunting, you can't have a shell for birds and weird stuff like that. You know, even in California, I can't go, the way my shotgun is right now, I have 5 shells loaded in it, because when someone's breaking into your house, it's kind of a bad time to be, loading your shotgun. But if I was out hunting right now with my shotgun the way it is right now, I would be committing a crime, because in California you can only have 3, and I think it's either 3 in the chamber or 3 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber, or 2 in the magazine. God, I gotta look that up right now. But anyways, there's a limit. You have to put a plug in your magazine. Yeah, okay, so a shotgun in California, you can't have more than 3 in the shotgun. So that's 2 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. So right now, I can't legally go hunting with my shotgun. So, you know, reason number 5,727 that I don't really want to live in this state long term, because it'd be nice to go hunting and not have to disable my weapon just to go hunting. California just likes making laws and laws and laws and laws and laws. Now, this is what cracks me up about California, right? You can't have more than 3 shells in your shotgun, but there's no rule about how many shotguns you can carry. So I could carry 10 shotguns with me in the forest while I'm hunting. It would be completely ridiculous, but I could put on my back 10 shotguns. There's no rule about how many shotguns you can carry around while you're hunting. So I can have 30 rounds or 30 shells on me, but any one shotgun can't have more than 3. Whatever, California. What the F ever. What's up, Die Bullfrog? What is going on? Okay, so we got... Hooples. Die Bullfrog. Yeah, I think California does too on the semi-autos. In fact, there are some states in the country that allow full auto shotgun, or God, I don't even know. States full auto. It's going to take me too long to look that up, but I think there are some states where you can go a full auto shotgun. Because I want to say I've seen YouTube videos of people in like Florida or something doing that. Oh, what's up, Bentley? Full semi-auto. You're funny, Gray Man. You know, I honestly, even if I was making engineering money, $60,000, $70,000 a year, maybe at some point in my life, I would get like a Kel-Tec shotgun, which are super, super nice. They're like $900, but $900 is a lot of preps. So $900 shotgun, $900 of preps. $900 shotgun, $900 of preps. You know how many solar panels you can get for $900? I could put an RV out in the desert and power it for the rest of eternity with $900 of solar panels. So, you know, like I was just watching Preffer Princess's live stream, And she was saying, you know, don't get crazy and buy, you know, a million firearms. And agreed. Don't buy $10,000 worth of firearms if you don't have solar, if you don't have wind, if you don't have water stored, if you don't have a garden, if you don't own your own land, if you're not debt free. You know, get debt free before you buy $10,000 of firearms, because all that interest is stealing money from you, your future, what you could be spending on preps. Oh, too complicated, huh? Yeah. Kel-Tecs are cool because I think they have the shells eject out of the bottom, so they call them like fully ambidextrous. Because if you're right-handed, I'm actually left-handed, but not like anyone cares, but I'm 95% right-handed and 5% left-handed. I write with my left hand. I play pool left-handed. Everything else right-handed. Throw, bat, tools. I'm ambidextrous on tools. I'm a little bit ambidextrous playing pool or billiards, but mostly right-handed. Saltwater batteries. Hooples, I would love to see a video about saltwater batteries, please. In fact, I'm going to look that up right now. Of course, why does saltwater make a good battery? Because saltwater is an electrolyte. The only problem is salt is corrosive, so you got to kind of be careful with that. But see, the problem with Googling saltwater batteries, you get all this crap that has battery in it. Okay, YouTube, we're going to teach you a little trick about Boolean operators. I know that's a big word, but I exist on this planet to make the world a better place. All right, we're going to teach you today about Boolean operators. What's a Boolean operator? A Boolean operator is something that you use to make your search easier. For example, if I wanted to look for batteries, but I did not want to look for lead acid batteries, I would go batteries minus lead minus acid. And this is going to give me battery search results for, for batteries that are not lead or not acid. And of course, the search result is kind of garbage because most batteries are lead or acid. If I wanted to, so you can use that to not do things. If I wanted to look for batteries that were related to they're not deep cycle. Interesting. And to be honest, I'm gosh, now I got to look that up. I've heard the term a million times. Oh, regularly deep discharged. Okay, yeah, unlike my lithium ion battery, which does not like to be regularly discharged. Drift car. You had a drift car, Gray Man? Oh, snap. You're one of those Fast and Furious kids, huh? Just be careful, player. The canyon is not a racetrack. Be careful. I only say that because I was up in the canyon last night, and I've been up in the canyon, and I know people get too fast and too furious up in the canyon. Okay, deep cycle batteries. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of marine batteries tend to be like deep cycle. Lithium ion batteries. A little more expensive. They are very lightweight. I'm not sure if you would really get that much advantage from a lithium ion if you have like a battery bank with solar, because why would you spend extra money for the light? I mean, maybe they'd be a little smaller. Maybe if you didn't want to lift heavy batteries all the time, but if you're going to build a solar battery bank, you're probably not going to be moving your batteries that often. So I would go for a battery that has a good warranty. Honestly, that would be my number one thing. Yes, I'm still showing Excel spreadsheets. They're a great way to organize information. Look, Excel spreadsheets are not just for engineers, you know. Anyone who wants to organize information, like even if you were going to look at like, I don't know, what school do I want my kid to go to? And if you were going to look at like teacher ratings, how their science program is, how their athletic program is, how many miles away from school they are, if you were going to compare batteries, if you were going to compare solar panels, spreadsheets are just a phenomenal way to organize data. And, you know, if you wonder why I'm such like a big fan of spreadsheets, it's just I don't have the neatest handwriting. You know, I can't draw straight lines. So I like things that make my data pretty. You know, there's a Reddit subreddit called Data is Beautiful, and data is beautiful. We have so much data right now. Enjoy those fish sticks. Don't forget, you got to get a little bit of ketchup and either ranch or maybe a little bit of mayonnaise, and then stir it around and make your own kind of, you know, pseudo. If I was having fish sticks right now, it would be, or tartar sauce. I guess you put tartar sauce on fish sticks, right? Ah, fish sticks. Oh, gotta take a break. I can't talk for 40 minutes straight, although. All right, let me go back in the chat history here because I missed a whole bunch of stuff while I was looking at things. Ugh. Go to my knees up back position. Any neighborhood is better than none. You know, Hooples, it's interesting that you say that, but I had a conversation with my father a week or so ago about looking for a job. And I love my father. He's a wonderful man. He's taught me 1,000,001 things. But he was giving me a little bit of grief about applying to all these companies with my resume. And he was saying, you know, someone with limited, basically no engineering experience, your paper resume is not really going to be that powerful as far as convincing someone that you can be an engineer. Of course, that's why I have the website. That's why I'm working on the boat. That's why I'm doing 3D printing. That's why I have over 100 pages of work product on my website. But it was a fair point. My dad never beats around the bush. So if I'm stuck in LA, I can't go to Mississippi and shake someone's hand and say, hi, I'm LA Prepper. I'd love to be an engineer for your company. I can't go to Arkansas and shake someone's hand. Yeah, I can apply to a job in Arkansas. I can make a video for them and say, hi, Arkansas, I'd love to come move there. But if I'm physically there in their office, handing them a resume saying, hi, I'm a real person. Let's talk about what I can do for your company. That's a lot more powerful than a piece of paper. So by staying here in the apartment, I'm limiting the number of hands that I can shake. Oh, what's my phone doing? Oh. Estimator. Yeah, estimators are cool. That's a tough job. So, granted, being homeless or not having a place of residence in and of itself has a lot of disadvantages. But for someone in my situation, the most important thing to me in life right now is obviously getting the degree. Once I finish the degree, the most important thing to me is getting a job. Nothing else matters. Nothing else in the world matters than getting a full-time job. I do want to live in a state that has some good laws so I don't have to worry about going to prison for protecting myself. But I'm really concerned that if I don't, you know, and maybe I could keep the apartment and like tour around the country and then come back to the apartment, right? I don't have to move out of the apartment to tour the country, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to shake as many hands. I could spend 3 months on the road looking for a job. I could spend a year on the road looking for a job. I hope it wouldn't take me that long, but why would I pay $1,000 a month in rent when I'm not even living here? You know, this is not a great neighborhood. I live next to a freeway. Anywhere that I park in the country that's not next to a freeway, I will get a better night's sleep than where I do here. Especially with summer coming, this place is all stucco. It gets hot as crap. I can either sleep with the AC on, sleep with it being hot as crap, sleep with the windows open and hear the freeway all night, or those are my options. I don't love where I live. I love having a roof over my head. I know I'm kind of talking about some first world problems here, but there would be no love lost if I moved out of this apartment. Plus, I'll always have my car, Hooples, and I always have my skills. You know what my home is, Hooples? You know what my home is, YouTube? Earth. Earth is my home. I will never be without a home as long as I'm alive because I'm at home. I was born on this planet through the miracle of, conception and 10 million, a billion to 1 odds that I was the one sperm that won, and here I am. Here I am, YouTube. I'm never going to be homeless. Ever. That's just the way I look at it. So I don't care if I have a roof over my head or I don't have a roof over my head. This idea that people need to live in boxes, it's a really kind of backwards way of thinking. And it's really unfortunate that society is so jaded against people who don't live in boxes, because not everyone wants to live in a box. It's not mentally healthy for everyone to live in a box. Some people just can't do it. A lot of people look at homeless persons and think like, oh, they don't want to get a job, they're on drugs. And some of them maybe don't want to work. Some of them maybe do have drug addictions. But others just aren't. There's a reason that not all homeless people like going to the shelter, besides the crime and they kick you out and all the other stuff. Some people don't feel comfortable living in a box. If you ever talk to homeless people, you'll find that a lot of them are not as uncomfortable being as homeless as you think. You would think every single homeless person in the country was like, oh, I don't have anywhere to sleep, and oh, I don't know where I'm going to get breakfast tomorrow. They're not. They're a lot more calm and okay with their existence than you would think. It's kind of a strange thing, but not everyone is the same, and not everyone belongs. Not everyone fits in this little cookie cutter package of what a human being should be. Strategic relocation. Yeah. Employers won't hire you if you're homeless. Well, I guess you wouldn't hire me if I was homeless, but I'm not working for you, Hooples, so. I would, it would be a little bit more challenging, but the thing is, if you're the type of person that doesn't want to hire me, if you can't see past my living situation, you can't see that the degree and all the stuff that I've done, doesn't mean something, I probably don't want to work for that company anyways. People move across the country and look for jobs all the time. I don't doubt that every single day people who are living in their cars get jobs. You don't have to have a house to get a job. You only need a house to get a job if the person hiring you wants you to have a house to get a job. Honestly, if I told people, if I met people during an interview and they said so where are you living right now? Maybe I could just say, oh, I'm staying at a friend's or something like that. It doesn't really matter. But I think if I told people I was touring across the country to see this beautiful land to get a job, they'd probably be jealous. They'd be like, well, man, if only I was young, if only I didn't have mortgage payments, if only I didn't have credit card payments, if only I could just pick up and go anywhere I wanted to. Wouldn't that be nice, right? I think they'd be jealous. LA County made it 100% illegal for people to sleep in their vehicle. What? Reason number 5,726 to leave Los Angeles. According to the California Department of Transportation, it is legal to have your car parked. No, that's a rest area. public park. See, in Alhambra, you can't park on the street without either a long-term permit or a short-term permit. So as far as I understand, in Los Angeles County, camping is only allowed where designated and then only in accordance with the rules and regulations governing use of such area. In San Francisco, no person shall occupy any house, car, camper, or trailer for human habitation. Well, I wonder if that's a criminal offense or a civil infraction. If it's a civil infraction, it's just a ticket, but if it's a criminal offense, then it's something else. It's probably a municipal code. And if the county's doing it, it's probably a municipal code. Oh, I gotta get out of this goddamn state. This state is just getting more backwards by the goddamn second. It is unbelievable. Okay, I'm still trying to catch up with these messages, so forgive me, but I'm gonna get there. Garden Love said, I'd love to be nomadic, but I'm a mom and a wife. Well, if you homeschool your kids, you can deal with the education there. Kids don't care. Kids love life. Kids are always happy to do whatever. You tell your kids we're going to jump in a car and go across the country, they'll be like, yay! And then 3 hours later, they're going to be bitching at each other because they're in the car. You know, it doesn't... Kids are flexible. Kids, we could learn a lot from kids. You give kids they're always upbeat. In fact, I've had a long suspicion that we ruin children. We ruin human beings because when you're a child, you dance and sing and you're free and you express yourself and you're always 100% honest with everyone all the time. And then as they grow up, we say, don't do this, 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 sit in a box, sit in a box, sit in a box, sit in a box. And then we wonder why adults end up miserable because we took the joy out of their existence. We told them, for you to fit into society, you have to stop having fun. You have to get a job, buy a house, get a bunch of credit cards, get a bunch of debt, and be stuck. That is what you need to do as an adult. And even now, Hooples is telling me, you got to be in a box. You can't be a normal person unless you live in a box. You won't get a job. You won't be able to feed yourself unless you live in a box. Hooples, don't destroy my dreams! As if anyone could destroy my dreams. Okay, let's keep going here. Christy said I'm 100% correct and I don't even know what she's talking about. Oh, new camera. Hooples, what kind of camera did you get? So Canada, I'm just reading Hoople's message here. Come to Canada, LA. It's awesome. I love Canadians and I love Canadian women. They're so beautiful and sweet and well-rounded and just like wonderful human beings. Canada's like not letting everyone in. Canada has kind of strict immigration requirements. So I don't know if having a master's, I mean, just for the hell of it, it would be really hilarious for me to like apply for a visa in Canada. I don't even know where to start. I never even thought about leaving the country. Actually, I have. Recently, I have actually thought about leaving the country. But the thing is, there's not a lot of countries I would consider moving to. Canada is one of them. It would be nice to move to a country that spoke English predominantly. I don't mind French. Je ne parlez-vous français, but I wouldn't mind learning a little bit of French or becoming fluent in French. I would probably speak terrible French my entire life, but that's all right. Yeah, maybe, God, how do you even, would I get like, see, I could get a worker's visa if I had a job, or if I had like a job lined up in Canada, but I could be an illegal immigrant in Canada. Wow, plus they got free healthcare, they got social services. Maybe I should sneak into Canada. I'm gonna go sneak into Canada and squat in Hoople's backyard. Of course, that's a terrible idea because his dog would eat me alive, but I'm afraid of Hoople's dog and I don't even know it. Canada also has miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of open backcountry. Man, hunting, outdoor life, prepping. Canada is like a prepper wonderland. Honestly, anyone who wants to prep and not worry about the hordes should really consider going to Canada. There's a million and one reasons that Canada is a great place to live. I always, mention that Hoople's from Canada and stuff like that, but I'm no fool. Canada has got a lot of good stuff going on. But I like America a little bit more than Canada, but Canada's cool as shit. Definitely Canada has a lot of things going for it. I'm going to type that, how to immigrate. I think it's emigrate. Emigrate is like from here. Canada. I could be a self-employed person in Canada. Maybe I could be like a handyman in Canada. Thing is, I don't want to renounce my citizenship. So unless they were going to give me like a lifelong visa, or unless I kept renewing, like maybe I could go to Canada for a year or two. That would be kind of interesting. But I wouldn't mind a dual citizenship. I don't know if Canada does dual citizenship for adults. Usually countries want you to choose once you get to 18. Like I could have had dual citizenship in New Zealand I think I was actually a dual citizen in New Zealand for a while just because my father was born there. I don't know. But Canada, I have no idea what I would need to do to that would be hilarious to just jump in my car and just go drive around Canada. Speaking of the snow, Hooples, I have been officially trained by the Boy Scouts of America in snow camping. I went on a Boy Scout snow camping event, and we didn't really do that much. I mean, we made a Quincy and we made some food, but I would have if I had a space blanket. If all I had was one space blanket on me, I'd be fine camping in the snow. No big deal. Granted, a shovel is super nice for moving all that snow. Trying to move all that snow by hand would be a nightmare. Makes me want to learn how to build a shovel out of a bunch of branches and paracord. How to build a snow shovel with dead branches. In fact, Hooples, if you still have any snow, I challenge you to go make a snow shovel out of a bunch of plants. That would be pretty impressive. Go build a Quincy out of only materials that you find out in the forest and anything in your bug out bag, not including a shovel. That'd be a really fun video. All right, we're still catching up on messages here. Poaching, huh? Yeah, don't be poaching. No, we don't support poaching, obviously. If you need 5 shots to hit a squirrel, you probably shouldn't be hunting. Yeah, fair enough. I haven't hunted any squirrels yet, but my Marlin 22 is pretty accurate, so I don't have a doubt that if I wanted to find a little squirrely, he or she would not be having a good day if I was aiming to hunt a squirrel. Have a tank in Texas. As if I would ever buy a tank, Hooples. Tanks are like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I actually volunteered at a museum that had a bunch of tanks. I've worked on different tanks and helped move tanks and been around a bunch of military equipment. Yeah, that's cool. The thing is, tanks are heavy. Tanks are heavy as crap, and they're not very practical. I'd rather have a tractor. There's 100 things I would buy before I would buy a tank, personally. Let me turn this fan off. It's getting a little too much breeze. Oh, I need to go eat some of that pizza that's been sitting out too. One of these minutes. In fact, maybe I'll go grab that right now. A second here. God, I cannot catch up to these messages. Ithics M37 shells dump out the bottom. Yeah, Ithaca. Okay, yeah, ambidextrous guns. Remington 870 or Mossberg 590. Well, I have a Maverick 88 hands-on. In fact, I think hands-on left, so I'm talking to the internet on that one. If you only knew my history, I wonder if JD was saying that about the Fast and the Furious. Chapter 9 or 11, bankruptcy, fun times, reorganization. Fun bankruptcy fact, in the United States, students cannot discharge their debt in bankruptcy. Yay, capitalism. 4x4 Nissan hardbody. Okay, yeah, Nissan 4x4s are cool, very cool. I don't know what hardbody means. Versus soft body? Did the commies got LAP? Not yet. Oh. Yeah, take care of yourself, Die Bullfrog. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. That's all the words I know to that song. Sorry, I'm sorry I don't know your national anthem, Hooples. I'm sorry. Did you... Did you just assume squirrels only have 2 genders? Ha! Oh my god. Killing me. Killing me with that. Yeah, California squirrels have a lot of genders, I suppose. I've never seen a squirrel cross-dress, but, oh, we're caught up with the messages. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna grab some pizza. I'll be right back. Hockey! I haven't watched a hockey game since I went to the University of Arizona damn near 20 years ago. We used to, I gotta check my hair real quick. My hair, the only reason I'm wearing this stupid hat is because my hair is looking ridiculous. Slightly better right now. I hate wearing hats. I haven't watched a hockey game since I went to the University of Arizona, and we would get depending on how many of us there were, we get like a 12-pack or a 20-pack, park outside the stadium, drink a bunch of beer, and then go in the stadium. And if we weren't doing that, or sometimes even if we were, we'd get our water bottles, fill them with vodka and all that stuff. Yeah, my first college attempt was a goddamn disaster. My own fault. Can't blame anyone. But there was like 50 of us in the crowd, you know. I don't know why University of Arizona had a hockey team. We didn't even have a terrible hockey team. It was a pretty decent team. And we would spend the entire game being half drunk, singing hockey songs, screaming at the other players. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. I miss those days. In fact, I know we have a hockey team here in Los Angeles, but I don't have money for that crap. I don't generally enjoy watching other people play sports. Like, people ask me, "Oh, do you follow any football?" No. If you want to get a football and throw a football with me outside like a normal human being, I will go outside and play football with you. If you want me to sit on a couch all Sunday and watch people having fun, no, I'm not doing that. I have too much life to live to sit on a goddamn couch all day and watch people play football for 20 seconds and then talk about shit for 4 minutes, and then go to commercial for 5 minutes, and then come back and play football for another 30 seconds. It's like the most frustrating sport in the goddamn world to watch. The only sports worse than watching football are baseball, golf, and maybe badminton. Although even badminton's more exciting than watching football. Yeah. Sit down on a couch all day watching football. Not the type. Not the type. Now hockey is exciting as shit to watch. Action never stops. Hockey players are super exciting. Darts. I don't know about darts, but I can watch bowling. The only thing with watching professional bowling is they're so goddamn good. They're just like, strike, strike, strike. I'm like, all right, Mr. Show-Off, you and your strikes over here. I like watching billiards on TV, but I don't have cable. In fact, this week, 2 of my neighbors were giving away flat screen TVs. I don't know if they worked or not, but they were just sitting out on the curb. I had zero interest in a free TV. Really didn't care. Did not care one bit. Are you a nurse, Christy? Do you work in the medical field? So I feel like that message might have a different connotation if you don't work in the medical field. Bought pizza twice this week. Shame on me. Shame on me. No kidding. That's really interesting. I used to work for an attorney that specialized in MTBI, minor traumatic brain injury. I'll tell you a really, really super sad story about a client that we had. I won't say his name because, attorney-client privilege, that wouldn't be very professional, but he was in a truck, regular pickup truck, and he was pulling out of a shopping complex, and a Durango rear-ended him at about 50 miles an hour. Now, because it was an older pickup, modern cars actually have some kind of shock absorption in the bumpers, so if you get hit, it doesn't transfer straight to the frame. But for whatever reason, he was in an older truck, and when it hit him, the full force from the Durango, and Durango weighs like 4,500 pounds, 2 tons, hit the back of his truck. He hit, of course, the truck went forward. Inertia kept his body where it is, so the truck hit him in the back of the head, and I'm gonna cry. He's a walking vegetable for the rest of his life. He was completely normal before that. Completely normal. And he had a wife and kids, and I don't want to say he left them behind, but in a way, he left them behind. He can't take care of himself. He can't function as a normal human being. He's going to spend... What's up, JIT? JITP. He's going to spend the rest of his life as a vegetable because he got into an accident in a truck and somebody rear-ended him. So probably the saddest legal case I've ever worked on in my entire life. Open the window here, it's getting a little warm. Yeah, it was, and I am somewhat happy to say we did, what's up, Right Brain? We did get him, like $1 million settlement, but we were working on a 33% contingency, so he got, his family got less than $1 million for him being a vegetable for the rest of his life. Really, really freaking tragic story. Super, super sad story. And that is the saddest legal story I have. Almost as sad as I worked on for the same attorney, actually, I worked on the Exxon Valdez oil spill case. And you're thinking, wow, wasn't that in 1989? Well, when Chevron, Exxon, sorry, has friends in the government, they basically screwed around those claimants for decades. We were trying to get pay stubs and tax returns to send to court like over 20 years later. In fact, how many years was it? I was working for that company in like 2006. Yeah, so darn near 20 years later, the court was trying to reject claims on people if they didn't have not just like one or the other, but they wanted like all of them, not just a tax return, not just a pay stub. It's unbelievable the way the court was screwing up all those claimants. And there were all these different claimants. There was like, I was a cannery worker. I worked on this type of boat with this type of net and, you know, caught this type of fish or crab or whatever. Man, I worked on some crazy cases in my life. Actually ended up quitting that job because, I'll tell you a funny story. I'll tell 4 of you a funny story. I quit that job because I had to contact all of them. To like ask them about A, B, and C, right? I was supposed to ask them about A, B, C, and D, but I forgot to ask them about D, and I only asked them about A, B, and C. So I told the attorney this, and he just frickin' lost it. Oh my God, I can't believe you forgot to ask him about that, and now you're gonna have to call them all back, and, you know, oh, my telephone bill. And the biggest asshole I've ever met one of the biggest assholes I've ever met in my life, Bob, his coworker, tried to beat a horse while it's down, looked at me straight in the eye and said, you know, maybe this line of work isn't right for you. And I was just like, wow, you're a fucking asshole. I made a mistake that probably costs less than $5 in telephone fees, and you're being the biggest asshole on the planet to me right now. Fuck you. Fuck you, Bob. Ugh, still bitter about that asshole. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, right? You're gonna love this. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, not just for that, but also like, you know, the attorney said he was gonna give me health insurance, and then 6 months later, no, he said he was gonna give me health insurance after 3 months. 6 months later, no health insurance. So he's kind of a lying scumbag. He tries to sweeten me up by having his wife take me, not just me to a dinner. Okay, if you want to take me to lunch to say I'm sorry, I will accept that. If you personally want to take me to lunch for being an asshole, that might have worked. He sent his wife to take me to lunch, and not only me, but me and another coworker. So it's like, why are you taking this coworker to lunch when your husband was an asshole to me and not to the coworker? So he tried to have his wife, like, win me over. Like, he couldn't even face the music. He couldn't even face the music himself. What a scumbag, right? Still bitter about that. Not bitter about making the mistake, just bitter that they had to be assholes about it. Like, yeah, that was a mistake, but you could have been like, try to be more careful next time. I'm going to take this out of your paycheck. And I would have said, okay, you can take $10 out of my paycheck, you fucking cheapskate. Oh my God. And it wasn't even like I was making like 1,000 calls. I think it was like less than 50 calls, you know? And these days when like long distance or whatever is like free unlimited minutes, the idea that I would get yelled at for having to make telephone calls, just like, what the fuck? Cracks me up. Oh, anyways. Stories from LA preppers past. I'm not Christy. Made me a stronger person. It made me realize that life's too short to put up with people treating you like shit. And honestly, that's a really good lesson. I'm really glad I learned that lesson. Let's see how we're doing on time. Wow. I'm definitely going to use all my data this month. In fact, I should probably log in to my Virgin Mobile website and see how much data I have left, because that's the only reason I don't live stream more. I need to get a USB camera so I can stream from my computer, because I was having issues with audio the last time I tried to stream from my computer. It's driving me up the goddamn wall. What's up, Die Bullfrog? Let's try to get back into prepping. I've been sharing all this personal stuff. Let's talk about prepping. Let's talk about what you guys are working on. What are you working on? What are your goals this month? What are your prepping goals? I'll start off. What's my prepping goal this month? April. God, I don't even know. I do not have a prepping goal this month. I mean, I got like 4 or 5 more weeks of school, and I kind of have a lot of work. Thanks, Die Bullfrog. I know I saw your email. I'm going to keep an eye out for it. I appreciate it. As always, of course, I'll make a VR response to it, like I always do when the community shows me kindness. In fact, I've been thinking I need to pay it forward and put together a little package or help out. Oh, I didn't know you were in law enforcement, Christy. That's really interesting. I've been thinking about putting together a care package for... God, I can't even remember the name of his channel now. Surviving Our Economic Downfall. He was talking about, being broke and needing stuff and needing a compass. So I'm actually going to send him an email. In fact, I thought he said my email. Get outside, yeah? Oh, like get outside, like into the woods and stuff. Yeah, you should, just in time. You really should. Big J, yeah. Big J was talking about wanting a compass. So I'm going to make a video specifically for Big J, and I'm going to send him an email, and I'm going to recommend that he starts a GoFundMe page. I'm going to recommend that he has an Amazon wish list. I'm going to recommend that he makes a video talking about the different things that he needs, because we can't help him if we don't know what he needs. You can't just say, oh, send me anything. I'm not going to send you anything. Let me know exactly what you need, what you're short on, and I'll try to work on that. Like he said, I need a better compass. That's something specific. But, help us help you. Don't just say, send me some preps. Like, what kind of preps do you need, Got to be specific. As I'm listening to this video, I'm rotating my preps. That's awesome, Christy. That's awesome. I wish I had enough preps to rotate. All my cans of food are like the same age. I swear I have like a dozen cans of chickpeas, a dozen cans of kidney beans. I have all these beans for some reason. Right Brain Prep is talking about food, cabin, and water. Wait, you're building a cabin, Right Brain? Holy crap. Have you? I'm going to check your channel real quick. Oh, God damn it. Ugh. Of course, I type in Right Brain into YouTube and it finds a million other things that I don't want to look at right now. And your recent video, Right Brain, Nonlinear Warfare, I've really been meaning to watch that and I keep getting distracted. Oh my gosh! Right Brain, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was not subbed to you, Right Brain. I'm so sorry. I tried, it's hard to keep up sometimes with the community, but I'm subbing you right now. Forgive me. I don't know how. Oh, you know what? Maybe I was subbed, but I must have been subbed because I know I've had your videos on my feed. Maybe I wasn't signed in. I don't know. Well, I think I deleted some. I was like signed into YouTube and then I deleted my cookies so that I had to like sign in again. Oh, that's right. You got a tractor. Oh my gosh. Please upload more videos of the tractor. I love tractors. In fact, I'm subbed to this channel, Messick's Farm Equipment, even though I don't own a tractor. but they're just like showing all these videos of tractors doing stuff, and I just love it. So you're building a cabin. That is crazy. I want to see some more videos about that. My cabin journey. Okay. Cool. Very freaking cool, man. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I gotta watch this and see what's going on with that. Just-in-time prepping. Get outside and make a video. I want to see it. I don't care what you're doing. Building a fire, playing with rope, looking for squirrels. Go outside and make a video this week just in time. You know, I would love to go to my local forest and build a fire. I can't build a campfire in my local forest. The fire lady said, nope, no campfires, no stoves, no nothing. Now, Los Padres National Forest is a little better, but it's like a 2-hour drive there. Ugh, can I just live in a state where I can go camping and build a goddamn fire, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. What is so hard about camping? Why does California... Can't carry a knife, can't carry more than 3 shells in my shotgun, can't go hunting squirrel in the local forest with a rifle, can't drive on a bunch of fire trails that are locked, can't make a fire. I'm surprised I'm even allowed to exist in California sometimes, I swear to God. Endless, 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 endless laws. Yeah, die both, you know, best of luck with the operations, Uncle Al. I wish I could be more supportive. You know, I don't know what I could do to be more supportive, but hopes and prayers, right? Parkour conditioning. You know, I tried parkour once at Berkeley and the campus police tried to kick us out. There were guys doing flips and all this stuff, and I thought, you know, I'm going to break my neck if I try this parkour anymore. Stamina is damn near non-existent. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to talk about that real quick, Gray Man. Stamina. Something that people that go to the gym don't always focus on. You know, everyone's always trying to lift muscles and have big arms and all that stuff. But I could probably, you know, out-stamina a lot of those guys that work out. Like, I would love to see someone that goes to the gym 3 times a week walk around for 16 miles. That's stamina. I was tired as shit after that, but stamina is what you need to bug out. If your goal is to work out so you can carry 300 pounds of preps on your back, you're not doing it right. You should be planning on towing a wagon behind you for 20 miles on foot a day. That's stamina. Stamina is going the distance. It's not about getting there fast. It's about getting there. Stamina is super important. That's why sometimes I just jump on my bike, go for a ride, do crazy things like walk around Oregon. Stamina is key. Oh, Gardens talking about sending people care packages and they said they didn't receive them. That's really sad. Tracking? I don't know. Insurance? I have a nightmare situation with insurance and FedEx right now. I honestly don't recommend using FedEx at this point because I'm having the biggest goddamn nightmare with this thing that I sent that they beat. Now, granted, I didn't pack it quite as well as I could have, but they beat the shit out of this thing. And they're trying to claim like it's not even their fault. You guys were the ones that handled the package. And you're trying to say like it's not your fault that you treated it like a soccer ball? Screw FedEx. I am not impressed with FedEx right now. They're on my shit list. Well, don't give up, Garden Love, sending care packages. It's still a really cool thing to do for people. Winter hibernation. Well, it was 95 degrees here the other day, so we're not having any winter hibernation over here. A solar minimum. Yes. We are at a solar minimum. It's very interesting. The question is, are we in the age of Aquarius? Rob Painless tractor time. Rob Painless. Why am I not? Yeah, I gotta admit, sometimes I don't watch videos just because it kind of makes me sad, like, that I don't have this land, so... Like, I can only watch so many videos of people on their homestead before it just kills me that I don't have my own homestead. Oh. Kubota! Recognize that color? Mile away. Nice front end loader, got the 3-point hitch on. Got his little plow there, making some rows. Very, very nice. I don't know if I'm ever going to own a tractor. I probably will. And I'll tell you the reason that I've always wanted a tractor. It's not going to make a lot of sense, but years and years ago, over 30 years ago, damn near about 30 years ago, maybe 28 years ago, I was just a little pup. I was at my, I would say my grandfather's house, but it was really his wife's house, Maud. And she had a tractor, and I think I tried to crank it once or twice, but don't ask me why I fell in love with tractors the day that I saw that tractor. It doesn't make any sense in the world, but for me, I think I love my grandpa, and he lived at this house, and they had a tractor, so I love tractors then. I can't explain why I love tractors, but I do. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Like, why do I want to be a farmer? I've wanted to have a farm even before I was into prepping. I wanted to have a farm. Can't explain it. It's just in my blood. Doesn't make any sense that before I became a prepper, I wanted to be a farmer. There's a lot easier ways to make a living. In fact, being a farmer is probably one of the hardest ways to make a living, aside from like owning a restaurant or starting your own business. But, I don't know, you know? I just feel like we spend, as human beings, so much time doing things to survive, but we're not spending time surviving. You know, you spend 40 hours a week to make money to buy food, but you don't spend any time making food. How does that make sense? Why would you spend all your life... Now, granted, money is a tool and you can use a tool to do things, but if you need air to breathe, then you get air. If you need water, you should get water. If you need food, you should make food. So granted, money can get you food and water, but if what you really need is water and you don't need work, why not just get water? If what you really need is food and you don't need money, why not focus on food instead of money? That's the way I look at it. I tell you, every time I see a car with new license plates, I just think, could have bought some land, could have bought a tractor, could have bought some preps. Why did you spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a car? You don't need a new car. Nobody needs, a new car. It just kills me. What's up, Vital Survival? Well, let me say this, Vital, and I don't really have enough experience to speak about this intelligently, but if you want to grow food, grow food. If you want to sell food, sell food. If you want a giant bureaucratic nightmare, start a co-op. There's no easier way to give yourself a headache than to try to do something with other people. Yes, I'm all about community. Yes, I'm all about doing things together, but you start adding an extra cook to the kitchen and everybody has a different idea about this, about that, about how many members, about what price, about where you want to do it. That's why I'm kind of independent. I like to do things on my own because I don't need people slowing me down, second guessing, waiting on a decision, not being sure about something, or being sure about something that they're wrong. What was it? What was that famous Mark Twain quote? It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Everyone today is an expert on everything, you know? And I personally would be very reticent to start something like that because I just see it turning into like a giant nightmare headache. And I'm not really sure what like the advantages would be. You know, like if you wanted to start like a farmer's market, just so that you all had a place to like sell food, I can understand that. If you wanted to start like a nonprofit as a way to educate people about growing food, again, that's kind of a headache, but I guess I just don't really see the advantage. You know, there's a little bit of strength in numbers and you get a little bit of economy of scale. So let's say you had chickens and you wanted to buy feed for your chickens. Well, maybe if instead of buying 10 pounds of feed for your chickens, you buy 1,000 pounds of feed and divide it up between 100 members of the food co-op, and then you get a better price on feed. Okay, I can kind of see that, but that's my 2 cents anyways, Vital Survival. Just keep in mind that however you think your life's going to be easier with the food co-op, it's probably going to get a lot more complicated and annoying by a factor of like 2 or 3. Just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents. Community is important, and I think doing things as a community important, but when it comes to spending your time and your money, I don't like to be involved with other people. Die Bullfrog, Visalia. I don't know if I can stay in California, Bullfrog. I mean, it'd be cool if we were neighbors. You know, we'd go grab coffee and talk about prepping, and maybe you could show me some of your some of those things you were talking about in the letter. You know, some of the underground stuff, right? In fact, Die Bullfrog, if I do turn into a nomad and end up heading north, I'm going to bug you and see if I can't buy you lunch on the way up or buy you dinner. Come hang out for a little bit. Hunting, shooting air guns. What's up, hunting, shooting air guns? I don't think I've seen you comment on my channel that much. Let me go ahead and go to your channel because I'm all about hunting and shooting, and air guns are cool as crap. Best thing about an air gun, of course, no ammo's cheap. I'm not going to say no ammo, but you don't have the black powder stuff to. You don't have powder stuff to worry about. And air guns come in a variety of calibers and strengths and sizes, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir on this one, but I don't know if you're going to take down a hog with an air gun, but if you had a 22 caliber air gun and a good earshot, you might be able to. You might be able to. I'm sure people have killed hogs with air guns before. My dad has a break barrel nitrogen piston air gun, 177, and one of our favorite things to do is go out in the backyard and shoot chalk. We have targets and stuff, but when we're really trying to get deadly, we line up a bunch of chalk and then shoot chalk. And believe it or not, my dad's a good shot. My sister's a good shot. My mom doesn't really care about guns that much, but yeah, one of our favorite things to do. And I actually didn't do it last Christmas, and it kind of breaks my heart. Is my phone going off? But the reason I didn't do it last Christmas is, well, they don't really want you messing with air guns in the backyard in Oakland, so didn't want to get any unfortunate attention. Move out of California. Yeah, I know. Working on it. Do you have airsoft hooples? Are you into airsoft? I didn't know that. Sailing? Like, oh, that's awesome, Hutton. Sailing is, I love sailing. I'm working on a boat. In fact, trying to type with my one non-pizza hand right now. Hunting, shooting, air guns. Check out that website that I just posted. I'm working on a trimaran project with surfboards and a windsurfing board and all sorts of stuff. Where are you sailing? In a bay, in a lake, in the ocean? I'm curious. Okay, now I'm all far behind on messages again. In fact, well, if I refresh this, I think I'm going to lose my chat. How many are watching? Are we still? Yeah, see, we have 9 people watching, but according to YouTube right now, it's only showing me 4, which is kind of weird. You know, speaking of getting into shape, I almost thought about doing some just like silly videos, like how many push-ups can you do in 2 minutes? How many sit-ups can you do? You know, climbing the stairs or stuff like that. Just to kind of like get people, you know, into the habit of being a little bit more physical. Antifornia. It's funny. Antifornia. Yeah, I used to be a lot more pro-fornia, but now I am a little more anti-fornia. It breaks my heart. I've lived my entire life in this state. By and large, the state's been good to me, but you know, I mean, when your college sets up a legal fund for criminals and they cancel your class because they don't have enough money, bullshit. Bullshit. In fact, Arizona just decided that, Arizona just made a decision on that, on tuition and whether or not it should go to people that are citizens or not. Yeah, I don't think cowboys would be standing for a lot of this bullshit going on just in time. Don't think they would be a fan. Right Brain, my Right Brain Prep is talking about his cabin. I built it with no electricity or gas powered generator, just a battery, saw, drill, and a hammer. Wow. Well, spend $200 and get yourself a solar charger so you can run an inverter. You don't have to, I mean, I totally appreciate the off-grid nature in which you're building this cabin, but there's no reason you can't have a little bit of power out there. It's impressive, though. I hate battery saws. You will never in my life see me running a battery saw. Ugh. Garbage little fucking things. I have a $160 Makita worm drive magnesium case that's choice. In fact, my blade's a little old. I need to sharpen it or get a new one. Turn on my fan here. Thanks for sticking around, by the way, guys and gals. I haven't done a live stream in a while, and this is 9 people's not a lot of people, but that's all right. It's not about how many people there are. It's about the quality of interaction that we experience. I know most of the Berkeley guys. Gray man, I don't understand what you're talking about. Do you mean Berkey water filter? What do you mean most of the Berkeley guys? Like hippies? Who are the Berkeley guys? I don't know what the Berkeley guys are. Thing is, vital survival, any type of stove cooking is illegal in Angeles Forest, so just can't really mess around. Hunting, shooting air guns. Arkansas, the best state in the U.S. Okay, hold on. I'm typing into my notes here. Best state in the U.S. Unless you're an enemy of the Clintons, right? Wink, wink. Don't want to get Arcanicided. Arcanicided? Arcanicided? I don't know how to say that. Arkansas. They have constitutional carry. Speaking of knives, the other night, just for the hell of it, I put, in fact, I'll show you my high quality knife that, in case you're wondering, lives under my pillow. Now, granted, I have a shotgun in the closet, so I'm probably going to go for the shotgun first, but God forbid somebody comes at me in my bed. I actually walked down the street with this beautiful Elk Ridge blade. It's actually kind of thin, but it's kind of a piece of junk knife, but it was $10 and I wanted a knife, so shit happens. Funny enough, I was actually at the Big Five while a homeless guy was, or I don't know if he was homeless, but he appeared to be homeless. And he was buying a knife. And I thought, wow, I'm buying a knife to protect myself in the very unlikely event that I get attacked. He's buying a knife to protect himself in the very likely event that he's going to get attacked. And I'm happy to report that the guy at Big Five, the manager, who's really cool, who kind of knows me, was very respectful of this homeless person. The fact that he was buying a knife, you know. Not that there's any reason that he shouldn't have been, but you never know. Some people are homeless. Some people are houseist. And if you don't have a house, they judge you. And if you don't live in a box, they judge you. Cough, cough. Cough, cough, my favorite Canadian. Arkansas, huh? Arkansas. I don't know anything about Arkansas, other than the Clintons come from there. Or at least Bill. God, I got these flea bites on my feet from working at this client's house and the damn dogs. I don't care if there's one flea at a house, it will find me and bite me somewhere. Goddamn bugs. You run 5 miles a day, Christy? Good God, what's wrong with you? I only say that because I used to run cross country and it took all the fun out of running for me. I just can't stand it. I look at running as like the most difficult way to get somewhere. Like if I want to go 5 miles, I'm going to jump on my bike and go 5 miles. I can't stand running. I ran 20 miles a week for 3 years in high school for no good goddamn reason. Why? Because I didn't want to do PE. Why not? Because PE's for losers. Well, running 20 miles a week, in my opinion, I'm not calling you a loser, but I mean, in high school, it's like, yeah, it keeps you fit and it helps you exercise. Running is fantastic exercise, but I just hate running. Hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Plus, I don't think I'm built to be a runner. I'm 6'3". I'm like too tall and lanky to be a runner. Too heavy. Gotta be, you know, you gotta be like, I feel like short people are better runners. I don't know why. Maybe something to do with the moment of inertia. But I never, the only time when I enjoyed running was when we had a 2 mile run and on Friday as our easy run because we'd done all this other crazy stuff. And of course, one of our coaches was a former Olympic runner. Oh my God, that guy would have us run a 6-minute mile, take a lap break, run another 6-minute mile, take a lap break, then try to run another 6-minute mile. Total of 4 6-minute miles in a row in like 30 minutes. Freaking insane. Oh my God. But the conditioning that we were in better condition than damn near the entire track team. And of course, most of us were on the track team too. But I remember one day we were doing 16 200s. So we do a 200 meter, jog back, do a 200 meter. We did 16 of them. And I remember by like the 10th or 11th one, you know, I was like in pretty decent. There was some time in my junior year when I was like the best shape of my life. And I remember one of the seniors who was a runner was like, you know, you're pretty cool, man. Like you're fast, but you're not, you know, like uppity about it. And he was a pretty fast guy in the 400, but he kind of, I don't know, I think he had other priorities than track in high school. I also did pole vault. Worst pole vaulter in the world. I could never get that form completely down. We didn't really have a pole vaulting coach. We kind of didn't have enough poles. Like, I think I was 170 and we had a 160 and a 180. And you really need the exact right pole weight. So I was afraid of breaking the 160 and the 180 was just too stiff for me. I got 10, I think 10 foot was the highest I ever got, but that's kind of garbage considering, you know, we had a short guy on our team who did 12 foot because he like had the form and everything down. Just in time, where's M? You forgot a letter from your state prefix. Where is M? Oh, N, Nebraska. Okay. Is Nebraska on my list? Nebraska, I don't think is on my list. Probably because they don't have constitutional carry. Doesn't look like it. I am glad the weather was nice though. Oregon? Oh no, are we having issues here? What's going on? My uh-oh. Are we having problems with the feed? Let me know if the feed's working. Are you guys having any problems with the feed? Somebody say that I'm still live. Somebody let me know. Maybe I'll just pause the video. Oh shit. Fuck! Oh, Garden, you're still there? Okay, yeah, I'm having some buffering issues too. Oh, interesting, Christy. Okay. I thought I ran out of data. Let me check my data real quick. Damn it. Oh, I hate... Trying to do this from a cell phone is like the worst idea in the world. Okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap up. I think I'm going to try to wrap up in 10 minutes here because I know I'm running low on data. Oh, God, would you stop trying to buffer, you piece of garbage? Let me just see if I can get through all these messages real quick before I finish. Okay, Nebraska. Are you still looking into Oregon? Not as much. Kind of a lot of different reasons. I might talk about that later. The upkeep on a farm is a huge responsibility, but it's worth it. I feel the same way. It is a lot of work. He's back. Christy saying, don't let it discourage you. It took me a bit to get my land. Thank you, Christy. God, I got even more flea bites. Goddamn fleas. Hooples had to reshoot the entire Uncle Al video. Sorry about that, Hooples. And Hooples, let me know what kind of camera you have, just out of curiosity, if you don't mind. I'm a lone wolf. You're never alone as long as I'm subbed to your channel, right, Brain? You're part of the prepper community. I hate the South, Mark Twain, LOL. Mark Twain, I love Mark Twain. He's one of the great American heroes, I think. Cream of halibut and cream of vegetables. Cream of halibut? I like halibut, but I don't know what cream of halibut is. No upper teeth? What happened, Diet Bullfrog? You used to have upper teeth last time I saw you. So many prepper videos are how to be a leader, and none of them are how to be a good follower, yet both are vital. A good leader knows how to be a good follower, Hooples. Very, very excellent point. Okay, sailing, food, airsoft warrior. No background checker waiting on air guns. That's true. All right, we're going to wrap up here, so get your last comments in. We're coming up on 2 hours. I'll give it a few more minutes. I got to check my... I only have like 3.5 gigs of data, so if I run out of data, I don't know if my phone's going to try to like kill the feed or what, but it actually, I think it slows it. That's what it does. It slows it down. So it's possible... Damn it. Where is my high-speed data? Okay. It says 990 megabytes out of 5120. I wonder, they must count the upload data as data too, though, not just the down. Weird. Well, maybe I'll keep rocking on. I love the I love live streaming. Since we got a few people here, how many are we at right now? So it's 7. All right. Not Hooples, I don't understand your comment. Not in any way. Joke. Oh, not in any way. Yet, JD. Oh, no background or waiting period on air guns yet. LOL. Gotcha. Yeah, right? Oh, it took me a while to get that one. You sailed around the world twice? That's so freaking cool, man. That is so freaking cool. I would love to do that. Someday I hope to at least sail a little bit more than I do now. You know, that's one of the only things I would feel a little unfortunate about living in the middle of the country is not being close to the ocean, but I'm too broke to have fun in the ocean anyways. You know, surfing is cheap, but boats are expensive. I'm using a lavalier microphone. The video upload time is huge. Do they add mega volume to the file size? To answer your question, Hooples, the reason your video upload time is huge is probably because you're coming in really high definition. Check what your camera's recording in. You might be recording in 4K. If you're recording in 4K, that's going to be a nightmare. You probably only need HD. even then you might not even need 1080. I don't know if you're coming in at like 12 or 1080. You can drop down the camera settings to 720 pixels. That's still considered HD. So drop down your resolution to the lowest HD. That'll help with your upload times. But no, audio file is an audio file. And as far as I understand, there's no such, you're probably not going to be dealing with high definition audio per se. So if you, oh, the other thing, Hooples, is check what format your file is in. Check what size your file is in. If you're recording in a more raw format like AVI, it's going to take up more size than like an MPEG. It's a smaller video file. Oh, also, Hooples, clear all your internet browser cache. Sometimes files and computers like choke on themselves because they just kind of have too many files. So close all your browsers except one, clear all your internet cache. You can leave your passwords and autofill data, but clear all the other stuff, and that's going to help your internet browser run a lot more smoothly. Promise. Oh, Berkeley Parkour Crowd. Thank you, JD. Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? Hooples, did you work at a university hospital? I know you work in a medical facility, Hooples. I didn't know you were on campus. What's going on with the students? Bushwick. Well, Vital Survival, I canceled my Netflix when they decided to get into politics, so I'm afraid I can't watch Netflix anymore. As if you want to eat this pizza, Hooples. Stop. It's not vegan and it's not vegetarian. I know you don't want to eat it. Yeah, Clinton side. Shooting yourself in the back of the head twice. Remind me to never piss off a president. Or Clinton. Hotter than an armpit in the summer. Well, maybe I'll be able to buy a boat someday. Yeah, I mean, a lot of places in the Midwest and the South and the Southeast are hot in the summer. I mean, I lived in San Diego for a few summers. I gotta admit, San Diego has some of the best summer weather I've ever had in my life. I'm not judging you, Hooples. Am I judging you or is somebody else judging you? I never get flea bites from people that have houses that don't have pets, Hooples. It's always a cat or a dog. Also, I walk up and down the street and people let their dogs go to the bathroom and stuff, and there's a lot of fleas from that. Raw garlic. Ugh. Is anyone still having streaming issues, by the way? Christy, you should make some videos about archery. That's really cool. And you have a crossbow? You're cool as fuck, Christy. You're pretty cool. If I stop by Nevada, maybe we should grab lunch, talk about prepping. See ya, Hooples. Okay, thanks, JD. Thanks, Kaylin. What's up, Kaylin? I haven't seen you comment on my channel. Let me go check you out and see what's going on. I wonder if I have too many browsers open. Well, I'm streaming from my phone, so...
I have this channel and I've had it up for a while, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that. I'm also known as Occupier Kaylin when I am doing my live streams through other apps like Ustream or Bamboozer or any others that I
Well, I just subbed to your channel, Kaylin Strain, so thank you for watching. I'll be checking out some of the videos you have there. Let me refresh my window. Not being able to see what's going on is driving me crazy. Being able to see what's going on is driving... All right, there we go. There we go. All right, next question for the audience. Kaylin, interesting. Paid forward his entry into my giveaway to you since he's in Canada and shipping a big box will cost a ton. Well, if that means that I need to give you my mailing address, Kaylin, then go ahead and send an email to laprepping@gmail.com and we'll be in touch. And yes, keeping up with all the channels you sub is an enormous amount of work. Sometimes I'll just look at videos and just like scroll back through like days and days and days and even weeks in videos because it is hard to keep up with them. Man, I can't believe I've been going for 2 hours. That's crazy. Your cat will pick the winner. I love it. That is so hilarious. Plus, it means that you have full plausible deniability. That it's not your fault if the people who didn't win are upset because the cat picked them. And who's going to blame a cat? That's a great idea. If I had a dog, I would... Oh, someday I'm going to get a dog and my dog's going to be part of prepping. Cats are cool too. Hooples, real quick. For cats, do you have to trim their claws or do you not trim cats' claws? I know you're supposed to trim dogs' claws every once in a while, but I don't know about cats' claws. I thought you were going to bed anyways, Hooples. Not that I'm kicking you out. You're welcome to watch as long as you want. You're an adult. You can stay up as late as you want, Hooples. I don't know much about taking care of animals, to be honest. God, my hair's at that length now where it just always is stupid. Drives me crazy. I take a nap and I just wake up and it looks retarded. Interesting. I want a cat, I just don't want a litter box. So I need an outdoor cat, but there's so many, like, when you live in a busy neighborhood, I don't think having an outdoor cat's a great idea. In fact, I saw a cat, I might have saved a cat's life today, I don't know. I saw a cat about to cross the street and I said, "Kitty, watch out, it's dangerous." And the cat, like, slunk off to the side. So I think I convinced a cat that it was too busy to cross the street. All right, Christy. Well, we'll definitely talk later. I didn't realize you were in Maybe I did or didn't realize you were in SoCal right now. And let me take a rain check on that solar panel because I don't know where I'm going. And if I turn into a nomad, I'm just going to end up storing the solar panel for a while anyway, so it's not really going to be getting good use. But appreciate it, Christy. I appreciate it. We'll talk later for sure. Uh-oh, Christy is giving away my first name. The OPSEC's going out the window. Okay, I have a question for you. For the 6, 7 people watching. 7 people. What are you working on that's prepping related that you have a question about right now? What's a prepping goal that you have that you're not sure of how to accomplish it? What's a prepping problem you have? That's a good name for a video, prepping problem. Tell me about your personal prepping problem, fellow preppers. My prepping problem right now is I don't know where I want to move. I don't know where I want to live. Kind of a big problem. Once I figure that out, life's easy. Get a job, buy some land, build a homestead, enjoy life. No big deal. But what are you working on that's a challenge for you right now? And it's, you know, everyone deals with challenges differently. I tend to Oh, I'm sorry to hear your trike got stolen, Kaylin. I had a bicycle stolen too, and it broke my heart. Half my income on a new one. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Kaylin, if there's a really easy solution to that other than maybe try to find a used one in good condition. It's not a terrible idea, right? Solar power. So hands-on, what's your solar power issue? Is it what kind of panels to buy? What kind of system to get? Is it where to install it? Like what specifically with the solar power is giving you struggles? Yeah, I need some land too, Garden. Tell you what, Garden Love, if you're curious about land, this is what I recommend window shopping. Excuse me. Go to Zillow or Realtor. I like Zillow the way it works. It's not quite as updated. Realtor.com is the most updated website on the planet regarding real estate because it feeds directly from the MLS, and everyone else gets like old data. I used to work in real estate, so I know these things. But go window shopping. Keep an eye on stuff. For example, I just got an email notification that one of my favorite properties in Oregon sold for $20,000. So now I know that a property in Oregon in that area is worth about $20,000. It'll give you an idea of what property's going for. It's really interesting when you see price drops. It lets you know that something was a little bit overpriced. So I definitely recommend looking at some properties in your area or maybe a little bit outside your area. Save them. Set yourself up on an email alert for those properties and just become a little bit more aware of what's going on in the real estate world. Just because you're not ready to buy a piece of land tomorrow doesn't mean you can't educate yourself on what's going on. And to take it a step further, pretend like you just bought a piece of land. Just choose a piece of land in your county. Pretend you just bought it, right? Then research where are the utilities. What's the water going on? What's going on with the water? What's going on with the rights, mineral rights? Check out building codes. Go to your city office and ask them, hey, I want to build a house on my land. Now, granted, you can't just say, what are the building codes about this? Building codes are like books and books and books. But see if your local library has a set of the physical building codes that you can look through. There's 1,000,001 things that you could spend your time doing after you buy land. So don't wait and go into it cold turkey. Have an idea. Talk to your city inspector. Talk to your code enforcement people. There's a lot of research you can do about property. Oh yeah, Kaylin, there's a bunch of ways to buy property. You can go tax sale, seller finance, foreclosure sales. Foreclosures can be nice. It doesn't necessarily make things a lot easier. Speaking of property, you're going to want to find a title company. Find out how much a title search is. Title search is very important because you want to make sure you're in the right place on title. If you buy a piece of land for $2,000, turns out it has a $10,000 tax lien on it, and the lien is supersedes yours, that means the government can say, hey, this piece of land, not you, but this piece of land owes us $10,000, and we're going to take it unless you pay the tax burden on this piece of land. So don't ever buy a piece of land without a damn title search. Now you know, YouTube. No more excuses. Do your title search. Anyways, I'm getting off my soapbox of doing title searches, but there's no excuse to have a surprise in title. That's what you pay a title company for, is to get rid of those excuses. All right, off the soapbox. You know what I use for water storage in my apartment, Kaylin? I'm going to show you real quick. This is my 99-cent water storage solution. Now, let me talk about the reasons why I like this as a water storage solution versus the 5-gallon ones. If you look up how much a 5-gallon water storage thing is, you're probably going to find it between $10 and $15. This is $1, which means I can always, at a minimum, or at a maximum, I guess, spend $5 to have 5 gallons of water stored. Now, why else is it nice to have it in a gallon versus a 5-gallon container? Easier to move, lift, store. It's easier to move and lift because it doesn't weigh as much. It's easier to store because it's smaller and you can put it basically anywhere you want around your apartment. And if you're talking shit hits the fan, it's easier to barter. Yeah, everyone wants 5 gallons of water, but you better believe that people would still barter for a gallon of water. So it gives you the ability to barter in smaller increments. You know, a lot of people talk about gold, like, oh, you know, what are you going to do with a bar of gold? And that's a somewhat legitimate claim, because if you had a bar of gold worth $1,000, you know, bar of gold's worth more than that, but if you had a small amount of bullion worth $1,000, unless you find someone with $1,000 worth of stuff to barter, what are you going to do with it? That's, of course, why people love silver so much. So I wouldn't stress too much about perfect water solution, and I don't have a 55. Just get 99-cent, store gallons of water. Wait to get the drums and all that IBC containers until you have land. Until you have like a land or a house, there's really no point in spending a lot of money on water like that. You know, I would say get up to 90 days. I don't have 90 days of water. Excuse me. I haven't actually been buying a ton of water recently. I probably have less than 30 days. Give or take 30 days, including the water heater. But once you get to 90 days of water, focus on other preps. You know, as far as prepping for water, looking for local water sources, knowing how to filter water, knowing how, you know, being able to boil water, being familiar with the SODIS method, being able to make a charcoal filter, knowing where local water sources are in your area. It's more beneficial to you. For example, you have the trike, you had the trike, but you're going to get another trike. So if you could find a stream or somewhere where you could get water legally, or even like a water fountain at a park or something, which granted isn't really going to work and shit hits the fan. So maybe something more natural like a stream or a pond or something where you can get some amount of water. You could get on your trike, go to the source of water, fill up your water jugs, take them back to your house, boil them, filter them, distill them, SODIS method, whatever you want. So water isn't just about storage, it's about the ability to make it potable. So I would say once you get to 3 months of water, or maybe even 2 months, if you know, no matter how big your apartment is, you can fit 60 of these in your apartment somewhere. buy some shelves. If you don't have shelves, lift your bed frame up off the floor a little bit. But everyone can store 60 of these. In 2 months of water and shit hits the fan, that's a good amount of water. Almost no one is going to be storing enough water for the rest of their life, okay? I don't care how many drums of water you have. Most people don't have a lifetime supply of water. So water is more about being able to renew it than being able to store it. That is my 2 cents on water. Okay. How to have more money for all my prepper projects. Well, JD, that's why you gotta hustle, player. You gotta hustle more. So you got work hustle. Everyone's got work hustle, right? Then you gotta get like part-time side hustle. So you get your work hustle, got your side hustle. You can do some community stuff, whether it's GoFundMe, having an Amazon wish list, trying to become monetized on YouTube, which I'm sure is only going to take me 10 years. But, you know, there's flipping stuff. There's 1,001 ways to make money, and you don't want to spread yourself out too thin, but you definitely want to have multiple streams of revenue. Always want to have multiple streams of revenue, you know. Like I bought this 3D printer and I have a sheath for sale on eBay for $4 and free shipping. I have one product for sale on eBay right now. My profit margin is about 90%. It cost about, I don't know, 50 cents to make. I'm selling it for $4. The shipping is going to be a stamp, so maybe my profit's not that much. What's my profit? Let's see here. $4 minus like 50 plus like 70. Yeah, so I'm like $3.30 profit, $3.30 profit per sheath, which is barely even worth my time to go to the post office. But the point is, multiple streams of revenue. Like you're a car guy, right? You're talking about, you know, drift cars. Means you know how to work on cars. Have you offered to help your buddies out with their cars? Do their brakes, change their starter, change their alternator. You know, a shop might charge $150, like a dealer might charge $150, $200 to put on a set of brake pads for, and you know as well as I do that changing brake pads on disc brakes is like an hour job. You know, assuming you have like a car jack and a few, maybe if you have air tools and a good jack, you could do some disc brakes in like 30 minutes. So consider stuff like that. You know, you have skills, JD. We all have skills. The trick is how to connect your skills with the people that need them. Put an ad on Craigslist. Say, I do brakes. I do brakes, starters, and alternators. Just leave it there. And then you could add spark plugs. You can add, you know, check engine light diagnostics, oxygen sensors. You know, people pay a dealer $200 to change a goddamn oxygen sensor, for Christ's sake. So that would just, you know, be my thought, is try to play on what your skills already are. Yeah, Kaylin, I think that trike is a really awesome idea. I'm a big fan of cycling, trikes, bicycles, and all that stuff. Trikes, of course, are great because they don't tip over. You don't have to worry as much about injury. Plus, the exercise is great. You know, getting out and around. It's good times. Kaylin, one thing I might say about finding a trike is consider looking a little bit outside of your area. You know, you might, depending on how much you're willing to spend on a used trike, and depend on who has a used trike for sale, you might find someone on Craigslist or Let Go. Let Go's an app, by the way, Kaylin. If you've never heard of it, I'd recommend checking out Let Go on your phone. Great way to find stuff for sale. You might find someone who's cool enough that if you pay them an extra $40, they might drive from 2 hours away with the trike and deliver it to you. if you have a really, really good friend, they might even drive you 2 hours out of town to go look at a trike. So don't just look at what's in your local area. See if you can look a little bit around to find a good deal on a tricycle. Hands-on channel, land in the Rockies, but it's completely off-grid. Cool. Cool. Garden love, bet I window shop. Oh no, what's going on? Oh, there we go. Underground spring is a must. I'm a fan of springs and such. Oh, bug's creeping on me. God, man, I got so many freaking flea bites. Ah, hate flea bites. Oh, yeah. Let me get on that sheath link prepping. Let me just finish my pizza here and go wash my hands real quick. So, talking about sheets. Oh, my micras. Oh, here it is. So the sheath is for a Leatherman micra because it's small. My print envelope is kind of limited. But here it is. I printed it from a printer. It holds the little sheath nice and secure. Let me go ahead and... Oh, cool, Kaylin. You know, I should send you one just for free, Kaylin. You know, just so that I could have someone that was actually using one. I'd be more than happy to. But prepping to endure. If you have another life. Will it work with the new micras? You know, I am not 100% sure, but I'd be more than willing to send you one for free just to try it out. Because if it turns out it does work with the new Leatherman micras, that's a whole nother market that opened up to me. So prepping to endure, send me an email at laprepping@gmail.com. Give me your mailing address. I'll send you one. Let me know if it fits. If it doesn't fit, then give me the dimensions of yours and I'll design a new one. It takes me an hour, you know, half an hour to design a new one, so not a big deal. You know, this isn't going to be paying my bills in the near future, but I was just trying to think like outside the box. If I sell this for $4, the filament costs like $22. So if I sell basically 5 of them, let's say 6 with, you know, costs and gas. If I sell 6 sheaths, my filament just paid for itself, and I could print like 100 sheaths with the filament. So sometimes making money isn't always about getting rich. Sometimes it's just about sustaining what you do. Like you might not sell enough chickens to pay the rent or sell enough eggs to pay the rent, but if you sell enough eggs to pay for the chicken feed, then the chickens become free. Then you have free eggs for life. So don't always be thinking about, well, I'm not going to do this because it's not going to pay the bills and it's going to be a waste of my time. Think, how can I get one step closer to self-sufficiency? If I can have my 3D printer filament pay for itself, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. So, to sound like a Californian, right? Sound like a teenager like I do, but... So, you know, when you're thinking about profitable activities, don't limit yourself to, well, it's not going to make me that much money. It doesn't have to be that much money. But if it's self-sustaining, that's the key. At least in my opinion. 121 views on the sheath, no buyers. Bastards. Copy and paste. Is Hooples back? Uh-oh. Have something in my teeth, Hooples? Or are you just... Why are you making me go check my teeth, Hooples? What kind of comment is that anyway? I hope he brushes his teeth. Why wouldn't I brush my teeth, Hooples? Do you think I want my teeth to fall out? What is an oxygen sensor? An oxygen sensor... See, you're going to like this, Hooples. Oxygen sensors save the planet. Technically, they're called lambda sensors, but an oxygen sensor senses the amount of uncombusted hydrocarbons in your engine so that your car runs smoother. And the smoother your car runs, the less it pollutes and the happier all the birds and bees and animals are. So your car will have a variety of sensors to help it run more healthy. And if your sensors are not happy, like my sensors were not for a while, your check engine light will come on, and believe it or not, other systems in your car will voluntarily stop working when your check engine light is on. Like your ABS might not work properly. Your vehicle stability control might not want to work properly when the check engine light is on. So fun times with oxygen sensors. In fact, if I had, yes, this is the little, and when I say Leatherman, I mean Leatherman Micra. If anyone has a knife that they want me to, like, preferably a somewhat popular knife, although I suppose even if I was just designing one sheath for one person, it would still be worth it. But the thing is, without having the knife here, it's a little bit hard to kind of get a good fit, especially a lot of knives are like curved, like, you know, designing a sheath for this is a lot harder than designing a sheath for this because this is a nice little rectangle or little rectangular prism, I guess. Designing a sheath for this would be a little harder because I have this curve, I have this curve, I have kind of like this space here. So, but then again, I got this knife at Walmart. I prefer to design sheaths for knives that are more common so that it's not just you that wants to buy it. It's, you know, potentially a lot more people. But anyways, oh, this flea. Does anyone have a good, what's your favorite product for itchy flea bites? I know calamine lotion, but I don't have any calamine lotion on me. I need to make a salve. Someday I will grow plants so that I can make a salve for flea bites, at home. God, I can't believe I'm getting so behind on these comments. I love the comments though, guys and gals. Thank you so much for interacting. God, my breathing in all this yucky, dirty air, my nose keeps itching. All right, no, we got past the cat stuff. Okay, I went too far back. Prepping projects, okay. I'm a noob at solar. So much is confusing. Mono versus poly panels. Oh, monocrystalline, polycrystalline, unless you mean like single panels versus an array of panels. Well, the more panels you have, the more cables you have. Monocrystalline versus polycrystalline, I'm sure there's a difference. You can probably Google it. This is my advice on solar. Just start. Buy a controller, buy an inverter, buy a battery, buy a solar panel, set it up. I just actually set up a solar panel for a client today, and I didn't even take a picture of it. Aha! Why didn't I take a picture of it? Maybe I'll get the client's daughter or the client cat to take a picture and send it to me. I always get pictures of my stuff so I can throw it on my handyman blog. Can't believe I forgot to get a picture of that. Garden love. I get mad when I can't get exactly what I'm looking for right away. Yeah, patience is a virtue, right? It's not one of my strongest suits, but this is what I've learned about patience and getting what you want. a lot of times you might not even be ready for what you want, and you might not even know what you want. So rather than kind of taking the mindset of, I want it now, there's a good chance you're going to regret whatever decision you make based on the I want it now. For example, that 3D printer, kind of an impulse buy. I was feeling like a little desperate about the job search thing. I was feeling kind of restless. I'd wanted one for a really long time. That's probably the most money I've ever spent with the least amount of research was on that printer. Granted, it had a lot of good reviews. Granted, even if it wasn't my favorite printer, I probably would have still kept it and used it. But so that's not really a good example of the point that I'm trying to make. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really, really want something, take a step back and spend a little more time making spreadsheets. Look at what people are saying about it. Look at what people are saying about similar products. One of my favorite things to do when I want something is just to favorite it on a website, like maybe Amazon or eBay, or just put it in a bookmark and just watch it. Just watch it. Like my Maverick, normally $289. I saw it for sale once, like half a year ago. Talked to the guy at Big Five, and he's like, yeah, it goes on sale every once a month or so. I saw it go on sale, go off sale, go on sale, go off sale multiple times. And the reason that I didn't buy it was because I try to keep my savings at a certain level. So, kind of like my solar panel thing right now. I need to get a solar panel, but my savings have been hurt a little bit. So even though I kind of know what solar panel I want, until my savings are at a place that I'm more comfortable, I'm not going to pull the trigger, so to speak. But as soon as my savings get a little bit higher, boom, I'm going to pull the trigger, have the panel, get it all set up. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I want to buy a solar panel before I move, because it's just another thing to move and they're kind of fragile. So, but that's my 2 cents on wanting something right now. Hands-on is talking about 24 or 48 volts. Well, I don't know enough about that to speak to that intelligently, but maybe I'll look into that a little bit and do a video about it later and see if I can shed some light on the difference between 24 and 48 volt systems. Find out if you need to eat the cost of the appraisal. Typically, as opposed to like whether or not it would be covered by the loan or whether or not you have to pay out of pocket for it, I guess. I'm trying to think, did our buyers pay out of, when I used to work in real estate, did our buyers pay out of pocket for the appraisal? I think it was part, like wrapped into the maybe it was just wrapped into the closing costs. That's another real estate thing. Check what the closing costs are. Everyone wants to charge you all this crap for closing costs. Free 5-gallon jugs. Yeah, I'd love some free 5-gallon jugs. A mouse invaded your closet. Uh-oh, Kaylin. Get a little mouse trap. Take care of that guy or girl. Non-gender specific mouse. Yeah, exactly, Grayman. Water's 8 pounds a gallon and 5-gallon jug weighs 40 pounds. Even if you can lift 40 pounds, you don't always want to be lifting 40 pounds. You know? You lift 40 pounds and twist your back around, you're going to be sore for a week. Lead is often overlooked in trading. Especially considering that people are going to be thinking about making their own bullets and reloading their own ammo and shit hits the fan. Yeah, lead. I don't know what else you would use lead for besides making bullets. I don't think anyone's going to make a lead acid battery from scratch. Actually, yeah, hands-on. What would you use lead for? Oh, see you. Hands-on. I guess he's leaving. Phone, it's on its last leg. Bye, garden. You have a river nearby. Perfect, Kaylin. Perfect. So some of the next videos I want to see you make, Kaylin, are I distilled river water, I filtered river water using a charcoal filter, I used like maybe a Sawyer Mini or a Life Straw in the river water. Yeah, if you have a river nearby, that's water for life, right? I can't have any in my bed, otherwise it'll be too tall for me to get on. Well, you could always raise your bed and put a little stool up to your bed, right? Hands-On is talking about Northern California being nice. Northern California is nice. Really nice. Problem, still California. Still can't open carry. Can't concealed carry without a permit. Can't concealed carry unless I get a permit. California is not a shall issue state. It's a may issue state. Which means I may or may not feel like letting you practice your constitutional right. Well, I'm glad your bathroom plumbing is fixed, Kaylin. I was just working on the plumbing myself. At a client's house today. Prepping to endure. Oxygen sensors can be a nightmare to change. Yeah. And I don't even have an oxygen sensor tool. I've never changed an oxygen sensor with a tool in my life. I always use like a crescent wrench or a open-ended, closed-ended wrench, which makes it even worse. Plus, I want to be able to haul stuff. Yeah, Kaylin, a trike is great. Honestly, a trike is a phenomenal bug-out vehicle because you could hook up like a wagon to it and have a chain and do all sorts of stuff. You know, part of me is thinking I took one of these fleas home with me. A little flea friend. Trike bikes are a very stable shooting platform. I bet they are. I bet they are. Yeah, prepping to endure. I have 3. I have, oh no, wait. Did I have 3 or 4? I have at least 3, because I got 2 banks. I got bank 1, sensor 1, bank 2, sensor... Jesus, I can't even remember. Do I have 4? No, just 3. I have, yeah, bank 1, sensor 1, bank 2, sensor 1. No, I do have 4, yeah, because I have a bank 1, sensor 1, bank 2, sensor 1, and then bank 1, sensor 2, and bank 2, sensor 2. Oh, so many sensors. Luckily, my car is smart enough to tell me which one it doesn't like. Well, if you lived around me, Kaylin, I'd love to help, but yeah, the only problem too is trikes aren't as the tricycle bicycles aren't as common. The tricycles aren't as common, so you really don't see as many of them around as you would like. Oh, what's up, Acer? Coming in with your little stealth message. Acer's message is so stealth it deleted itself. I would keep my Micra on my keychain, Kaylin, but I go to school and God forbid a snowflake saw me with a multi-tool on my keychain and they saw it as a weapon. That would be all bad. Oh man, I'm trying to like scroll up and down here and it's not making it easy for me. It's like jumping all over the place. You know, Hooples, that's a really good point, that I should buy a Leatherman and sell them together, the Leatherman plus the sheath. I have seen people do that, selling the Leatherman and the sheath together. The only problem is, me making this myself, I am 100% okay legally. I don't exactly have a legal right to be reselling Leathermans. Whether or not Leatherman would care about some little podunk seller, probably not, but... Oh, prepping to endure. Yeah, I only have one color of filament right now, and I probably will get a black color, some black filament in the future, because of course black is an awesome color, but for the meantime, everything I print's in green, so... You gonna tell me to wash behind my ears too, Hooples? Jesus Christ. Sound like a mother. Yeah, so Hooples, with the check engine light thing, your car wants everything to be operating. I mean, typically the ABS will probably work, but like on my Lexus, the VSC, the vehicle stability control, won't work if the check engine light is on, which is a nightmare. Aloe. Yeah, aloe's good. Essential oils. No, I don't have any essential oils. My skin's oily enough already. Alcohol. I actually do have some rubbing alcohol. Email sent. Thank you. Patience takes too long. But baking soda, antihistamine. I do have baking soda. I don't have any antihistamines on me. Baking soda. Thank you. Hooples, you're killing me. Clinton uses Excel, records all her enemies on it. That was a very clever joke, Hooples. That was a very clever joke. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. That's funny. That's very funny. Tea tree oil, Avon Skin Soft Body Oil. Well, if it repels fleas like crazy, it's going to be my new favorite oil. All good things come to those who wait. Oh, radiation shielding. Yes, Kaylin, that's very true. You could use lead to make a Faraday cage. What an excellent point. Yeah, I'd love to do my own reloading and do my own bullets someday, but money, money, money. Lead as flashing for a wood fire install. Yeah, but we're talking about like trading lead. Are you going to make your own lead flashing out of like... That's a lot of work to make your own lead flashing. Cool, Kaylin. I'll have to check for that video about the 2 different filter straws. Here in Iowa, you have to have a permit to acquire before you can get a permit to carry. Ugh. I don't think Iowa's on my list of where I want to move, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately. Let's see, where's Iowa on the state list? Yeah, what are we going? Almost 3 hours. Talk about stamina, right? No, Idaho, excuse me, Iowa, Idaho. New state, 51st state, Idaho. I was trying to be positive about your state. Well, I appreciate it, Hands-On Channel, because, yes, it is a goddamn liberal utopia, and they're ruining the whole frickin' state. Oh, you found... Cool, you found a tracking the app. Cool, Kaylin, about that app, yeah. God, I wish I could open up this chat window bigger. Jeep Cherokee. I'm sorry, prepping to endure. My folks have had Jeep Cherokees, and they're great when they work, if they work. But Chrysler, I don't know what those boys and girls at Chrysler are doing, but they don't know shit about making a reliable vehicle. The goddamn things are breaking down all the time. My dad has had the emergency brake on my dad's Jeep. I don't think it's a Liberty. I think it's a Cherokee. Well, maybe it is a Liberty. I don't know. But anyways, the emergency brake on my dad's Jeep is the most cockamamie goddamn thing on the planet. It has this weird, like, round this spring, like a concentric spring around a clutch, and it's just a freaking nightmare. Hands-on channel. Yes, I will have to probably change my my username. I did think about that, or I could move to Louisiana. Is Louisiana on the list? Louisiana is not on the list presently. Yeah, I don't know what I thought about changing it to. Like, I could be the American Prepper, or, you know, maybe that's taken. I don't know. I'll probably change it to something. And since, you know, most of y'all are already subscribed anyways, maybe it doesn't really matter, like, what the name is. I think LA Prepper has a good ring to it, but... Wow, rolling a trike. Yeah, well, prepping to endure. Are you talking about bicycle trikes or like Honda ATC trikes? Because the motorized trikes are extremely dangerous. That's why they outlawed them. Hooples, you never said what's going on at your school. Why is your school all crazy? Why are the students on strike? I carry a folder and have it pulled out in class to open exams. Get a reaction. I don't get it. I don't get that comment. You get a reaction by pretending that you have a class? Oh no, why are we having issues with the stream? Yeah, prepping to endure. Kaylin's talking about a non-powered vehicle, not like an ATV. I got my Micra used on eBay. It came in a lot of knives listed as TSA confiscation. I don't think they're supposed to be selling those, but that's hilarious. No. Very funny, Hooples. I have a very competent mother and father who have taught me more than I need to know to get through life, and they're still teaching me things. In fact, one thing that I find really interesting as I get older is that I'm actually getting to know my parents better. They're kind of sharing more about their life with me. Every time I hang out with them now, I learn different things about them. It's been really cool. It's really cool. Your car wants to be and 14. What are you talking about? Oh, 14-to-1 burn ratio. Burn ratio? I mean compression ratio? What do you mean burn ratio? What's a burn ratio? Steal it from a church and use a hammer. What are we stealing from a church? I'm so confused right now. Oh man, you guys are like typing so fast. The messages are like... Yeah, the XJ is a cool platform, but this is why I don't like Jeep Cherokees, and I'll probably never buy one. You can buy an old 4Runner or like even an Isuzu Trooper, and they come with factory locking hubs. Jeeps, basically, the older ones, don't come with factory shit. So your four-wheel drive vehicle turns into a two-wheel spinning vehicle. I should know. I used to have a Jeep Cherokee. And they don't come with anything locking from the factory, which means you don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle. So I would rather have a 4Runner all day and at least have three wheels spinning, because if you lock the front hubs, then you got two in the front plus one in the rear spinning, which is way better than, one spinning in the front and one spinning in the rear. Plus, a lot of the older Jeeps aren't all-wheel drive; they're full-time 4x4, which means you can't drive them. I mean, granted, maybe that's not the biggest deal in the world, but the 4-cylinder inline 6 is bulletproof. Yeah, I disagree with. Maybe the engine itself is bulletproof, but all the components, the water pump, the alternator, all that other crap, and they don't run very well. I think they run like dogs, to be honest. I'm just personally not a fan of Jeeps. I think they're a great idea, but very poorly executed. Yeah, so prepping to endure, I'm not talking about, yes, I understand that ABS and traction control are different systems, but I'm saying the computer, my Lexus computer, will not let the vehicle stability operate if the check engine light's on. You can feel free to Google it if you don't believe me. I think the ABS works, but I know my VSC doesn't work when the check engine light's on, because the VSC light will come on. Gray man with the illegal cat mod, with the illegal exhaust. It's all right. When you say that company isn't what it used to be, are you talking about Jeep, Kalen, or Chrysler, or what? Yeah, GMs are cool. I've had Chevys. I've never, I had a Impala, had a Cavalier for a while. Both of them ran forever, never left me stranded anywhere. The Canadian Prepper Rofel. Yeah, Honda ATC. In fact, damn, which one of my subs is working on that Honda ATC? I'm trying to remember. Let me find it real quick. One of my subscribers just got a Honda ATC from a barn, and it I love how everyone's barn find, they always turn out super clean. Cracks me up. Who is my subscriber working, or who am I sub to is working on that Honda? He has all the coolest toys, working on Honda, working on dirt bikes. I think I messaged him the other day. I want to come hang out and ride his toys around. The hands-on channel. Oh my gosh, is he watching right now? I'm hell embarrassed if he's what? Yeah. I'm sorry, hands-on. I'm so embarrassed. I couldn't remember. I have so many subscribers, but yeah, the hands-on channel. He has a ATC that he's working on, and I'm jelly. I'm super jelly. How's that carb doing, hands-on? You get that? You get those jets cleaned? The teachers are on strike. Okay. Yeah, teachers get shit pay. I know. I didn't know you were a teacher, Hooples. Do you work in the medical field as a teacher, or do you work in the medical field and you're a teacher? I'm kind of confused now, all of a sudden. Well, it's a good thing you're not in London, you Hooples, although I think you can use a knife for work-related things in London. Yeah, sorry, Kaylin. Probably because uploading all this data as a live stream from my cell phone is a little bit much for my cell phone to handle. Also, stucco has a bunch of chicken wire in it, or like metal in it, and my phone is in the corner right now, so my phone's not really in a great spot to be transmitting. Eventually I'll go to live streams from my computer. That's right, you got to get that card kit. Yeah, I saw that recent video where you were cleaning it out a little bit. Oh, so you are, okay, so you are at a hospital and a professor. That's really cool, Hopel. So you're teaching people, you're fixing people, and you're teaching other people how to fix people. Really cool, Hooples. Yeah, Mayor Sadiq Khan. In fact, Caitlin, I just made a video about that scumbag. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know, I understand they want to reduce crime, but if laws were enough to reduce crime, then there wouldn't be any stabbings. It's already illegal to stab someone. So, just like it's illegal to shoot someone, people still get shot. Doesn't have to do with whether or not you have a gun or not. It has to do with whether or not you're a criminal psychopath or not. It's illegal to drive your car into a group of 20 people. People still get crazy and drive their cars into people. Oh, you should totally live stream, hands-on. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah, Greyman, not only that, but they basically gave up on the Fourth Amendment. So not only is it illegal to have a knife, but the police can stop and search anyone they suspect of having a knife. Fuck that. Fuck that. Interesting you mentioned about violence, Hooples, but I don't think it's just the English that are violent. I don't think it's all British on British crime. Not to get into that area of what I think's going on in Europe, but I don't think it's predominantly. I think there's a problem of, yeah. I'm just gonna leave that. Europe is Europe's fun times right now. But the British have never been terribly shy about, you know, coming to physical resolutions with things. Yeah, they don't have a constitution in England. I don't know. They got common law and British law and what kind of stuff they got going on. It's a great point, hands-on, gun violence, knife violence, car violence, you know. And that's the thing, like you can't have an intelligent conversation with some liberals because they pick and choose their logic, right? So part of the logic of the anti-gun lobby is guns are bad, guns hurt people, we can't have guns, we need to stop people owning guns and that will stop gun violence. But you try to take that argument to cars and say DUIs are bad or car accidents are bad, therefore people shouldn't have cars, we need to ban cars, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that's not fair because I should be able to have my car because I'm not going to hit anyone with my car. So why are you trying to ban all cars when only some people are getting into car accidents? You know, you really can't, you just can't really talk sense with some people that are just like, hate something for the sake of hating it. And honestly, I don't think this knife ban in London has anything to do with hating knives. I think it just has to do with controlling the populace. Now, personally, I don't mind the CCTV that much. I really don't. In fact, I think they should be, you know, I don't know whether they should be recording in public, but like downtown, if you're in a downtown area, put up cameras everywhere you want. There's a lot of people downtown. And I personally don't have a problem. Take as much video as you want of me downtown. I could give a shit. You know, just at least make sure you have like signs letting people know like they're going to be on camera or whatever. Yes, Orwellian doublespeak. Thank you, hands-on. I have used that term specifically before. I mean, when did he write that book? Like the 60s? Of course, if I could type 1984 correctly. 1949. 70 years ago. 69 years ago, right? Damn near 70 years ago, Orwell is talking about the government controlling people, the government using doublespeak. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Yes, Hooples, you're right. Banning some people from driving is a different argument from banning everyone from driving, but there are significant factions in this country that want to ban everyone from owning a gun. Just like in London, they're not trying to ban criminals from owning knives. They're trying to ban everyone from owning a knife. They're not trying to ban criminals from carrying a knife around in public. They're trying to ban everyone from carrying a knife around in public. So yes, it is a very different argument, and that's what's so messed up about it, is that they just don't care anymore. They're saying no one can have a knife. No one can carry a knife. You all must walk around defenseless. Not me. I got my 4-year prison sentence right here. Although I think I just read it was 3 inches. So let me get my tape measure and see whether or not I'm going to prison when I get to London. Oh, where's my tape measure? In fact, all right, so let's see here. Are we going to prison in London? Well, so this is really interesting, right? Technically, the sharp part of the knife is, like the part that you would say constitutes a blade, is 2 3/4 inches long. Probably not accidental, since perhaps 3 inches and longer changes things. But, to gesticulate with my knife here, if some SOB in London decided that the definition of a blade is not the sharp part, but the blade is the entire part made of steel, then I'm at 3.5 inches, and it's 4 years in prison, maximum sentence. $2 at Walmart can get you 4 years in prison. Worst case scenario. You know, if I made a video a year ago and said they're going to ban knives in London, y'all would think I was crazy. You all would think that I'm just doing a dumb video for views, and what does this guy know, and he's stupid. Hooples, you're cracking me up. I love you, Hooples. But, you know, here we are. Enjoy your mayor, London. Yeah, steel behind the pivot point. They live. Oh, old thriller zombie movie. Cool. John Carpenter. Oh, very good director. Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, Fight Club was a crazy movie, that's for sure. Oh, we coming up on like 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours. I think I'm going to sign off pretty soon here. But I have to admit, it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you all this evening. It really, really has. It's, videos, when I make a video and I record it, in the back and forth with the comments and stuff, it's kind of fun. But, and before I go, real quick, let me ask, what's like the best, what do you think a good night is for like live stream? Do you think weekdays are better for live stream? Do you think weekends are better? I don't know what like the best day is. Like I know that what is it? Survival. Step 1 Survival, I think, has like a Saturday show. Thursdays. Okay. Thursdays. Well, I have class Thursday evening, so unfortunately Thursdays isn't really good for me. Weekends and you can watch at work. Aren't you like busy at work, Hooples? Pushing paper from one side of the desk to the other though and stuff like that? Signing requisitions for syringes and catheters and all sorts of medical equipment. Paying the bill for the guy who just came and fixed the MRI machine. I have seen Just in Time's Prepping Saturday show. I feel like maybe I want to jump in on like an after show, like so that I can make it a little easier to So you're like boots on the ground in the hospital, telling folks what to do. Sounds like fun. JD Gray, man, you're killing me. Stream every leap year. That's funny. Oh, do you really? Like every single one, and you're like hovering over people's shoulders as their surgery operating and such? Interesting. Very interesting. I'm sure you get to see all sorts of nasty, gross stuff I don't want to hear about. Well, Kaylin, RAM is cheap and very easy to install, so I strongly recommend getting some RAM. Is pink a bad code? Is pink a really bad code or not? I have no idea what code pink is. What's the worst code? Black? Red? Orange? I would feel like code red's the worst code. Oh, little babies, little before oh, neonatal death. God, that's neonatal before the kid's born, like in utero death. That'd be tragic. Oh, just after. Oh, newborn. God. That it's one thing to handle like people that are sick, but trying to deal with a mother who just lost her new child, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I would rather be homeless than have to deal with mothers who just lost their kids. There's no way I could do that job. Oh. Yeah, hands-on. That's my my neighbors downstairs in their Chevy truck and their exhaust. You're hilarious. Yeah, the hospital is too gross and too sad for me to work in. I'm not like super squeamish around blood, but once it goes from like a cut or a scratch to like, draining 2 cups of pus out of someone's abscess wound, I'm out. Goodbye. Yeah, please. I mean, well, Hooples, I mean, we're, I'm interested in your life as much as the next person is, but I would say, I mean, granted, as a medical professional, it's really not very professional for you. Like, you can't really talk about specific work stuff, and we understand that. But, you know, share as much as your life as you want, Hooples. We'll watch the videos. Yeah, I wouldn't mind building a hospital, but yeah, being in the hospital is about as much fun as a tumor. No offense, Hooples. I'm sure you have a very nice hospital that you run, but... Last time I was at the hospital, I broke this wrist. This wrist? Yeah, this wrist on my bicycle. Or off my bicycle. If I was on my bicycle, I wouldn't have broke it. Yeah, no kidding. Not only are they full of sick people, they're full of like super germs, right? Like all the germs that don't get killed. All right, guys and gals, I need to not turn this into CPE. I don't even know what that stands for, Hooples. What is CPE? Carbapenemase producing Enterobacteriaceae superbug. Oh, that's a mouthful. All right, we're gonna sign off, people. Oh, stop, Hooples! Why are you giving me nightmares about these flea bites? I hate you, Hooples. Bad Hooples. Stop giving me grief. I got enough stress with school to deal with. I don't need to worry about superbugs. Unless you're serious. Oh my god, Hooples. Killing me. Killing me. Alright. Thanks, guys and gals, for watching. It's been fun. Like, comment, and subscribe. If for any reason you ever need to get a hold of me for anything at all, send me an email to laprepping@gmail.com. And yes, I'm going to go put some alcohol on my legs because I've been scratching them the last hour of this video. Thanks again for watching, guys. See you next time, and keep prepping.